15. Ontario is from Canada. So K. So we have the first five. They're from Trinidad. Nothing. Pleasant good afternoon to you out there. You're watching MAQTV. Welcome to the grand final of 2019. It's the under 17 finals, and it's Ontario Red from Canada, of course, and we have KR Cricket Academy from Trinidad. KR Cricket Academy from Trinidad, under 17 finals, and with me we have Ian Thomas right here in the studios, and it's promising to be a humdinger because we had a lot of rain, Ian, and we're even wondering whether we are going to be having any cricket at all today.
Yes, definitely. We had a lot of rain overnight and even into the morning. So we're having a late start here. So it's the final, and we're expecting a good show between these two teams here. The KRCA and the Ontario Red. Last night I had a chance of watching KRCA, and they did well with Banke, who batted basically through the innings. Good batsman. So we're looking forward for a good game here today.
Okay, and they're off and running, and I must tell you that the Ontario Reds, they won the toss and they are feeling. So KR Cricket Academy, they are batting, and they're off the mark with 3 runs. Banke is the bowler, the bowler. Oh, the batsman on strike, Ontario Red Banke. So KRCA, they're on their way, 3 without loss. In the first over, 5 balls so far, and it's a 15-over affair. It's a grand final. And Singh, who is the bowler. And actually that was the ball number 4. Sorry, I stand corrected. It's a 20-over affair. 20 overs affair, so we're going to be having 20 overs. A lot of the matches were curtailed because of the inclement weather we have had throughout the entire tournament. And we have a lot of 10 overs. But this time, it's beautiful weather. I must give full recognition to the curator and his staff as they worked assiduously to mop up all these water, get rid of all the water that's there, and they have the super the one that just suck the water out, and they'll just go down by the boundary line and get rid of all those waters. I know it's been hard work, and now looking at the pitch, it seems as if it did not rain at all.
Yeah, so it's looking pretty good out there. Even though it's a little overcast, we're expecting the showers to stay away this afternoon, which will allow us to complete this wonderful game of cricket here. So that was a beautiful sweep shot there, down to the boundary, and it's going very close to the boundary, and it's 4 runs all over.
Beautiful shot, and by the southpaw.
Yes, so Mahes take his tally up to 7 from 5. So good start here by Mahes. He, along with Banke, batted pretty well yesterday afternoon for the KRCA team.
And the two standing umpires, we have Mr. Bali Ramnaris and we have Saravana Kumar. They are in charge. In the distance, I was a bit taken aback when I saw the cover was being drawn in the background there, but I was happy to see that they were going away from the pitch, not towards the pitch.
So we see here Patel bowling for the Ontario Reds. You know, bowling pretty much spot on. That one was just run through the slips coordinate, and he'll go through for a quick single.
Still cloudy. For the past 4 days, the wind was coming out of the east and going west, of course. But today, all the flags, all the indicators are showing that the wind is coming out of the west today, going down to the east. And perhaps that's why we are not having any rain. What do you think about that, Ian?
Yes, I think the rain have basically passed by, you know, and I hope that it will stay away, because this is Florida. The weather here is very much unpredictable. You know, one day you're having sunshine, the next day it's rain, and that's what happened over this weekend. You know, we are having very good days before, but then as soon as we put out the stump, down came the rain. But we managed to pull off our T20 for the seniors, you know, where we see the Somerset Cavaliers walked away with that championship. So, you know, we're expecting a good afternoon here.
Yes, going back to that, Ian, the Somerset Cavaliers won the tournament, and they were winning for the second time. The last time around, they won the tournament in 2017. And the grand final, they beat the Atlanta Fire. The Fire made 103 for 6 in their 15 overs. And the Somerset Cavaliers made very light work of the 103, making 109 without loss. And Shandapal Hemraj made 53 not out from 29 deliveries. And Lewis made 52 not out from 32 deliveries. So they made very light work of it in just 10 overs and 1 delivery.
So back to the game here. Mahes is on 9 from 10. Banke finally get off the mark with a single. So the score goes up to 10 without loss. And we're in over number 3 here.
And just to let you know that the power play is still on. The first 6 overs in a 20-over affair consist of the power play, in which only 2 fielders can be outside the 30-yard circle. So if there's any accelerating to be on is right now because there's a lot of vacant real estate outside a 30-yard circle. That one, yes, he's out, he's given. The umpire very slowly put his finger in the ear. And that is one picture that no batsman like to see, that umpire's finger stretching heavenwards.
Yes, so that ball was pretty wide off the crease, by Singh, he pitched pretty wide off the crease, but then the batsman went for the drive through the cover and only managed to get a thin edge, and he is back in the stand. That's Mahes back in the stand, and now bring Auguste to the crease. So it's 10 for 1. KRCA 1 wicket down, and we're in the third over. So good start here by the Ontario Reds in terms of their bowling. 2.3 over, 10 runs on the board, and a wicket down. That could spell early problem here.
And nothing peg you back more than losing wickets, and especially in the power play. You want to make sure that you're taking wickets because it will cause the batsmen to think before they go slashing that bat. So good start, as I've said before, for the Ontario Reds.
And this one is down the leg side. The ball is running away in close to the boundary, and they should be able to come through for 2 runs here. So that will bring this total up to 12 for 1, and we are still in the third over. So let's see the signal from the umpire. So actually it seems like he got some bat on that one.
Ran pretty close to the boundary as we are looking at the replay. The fielding team seems very energized because they want to make sure they keep those runs to a minimum. And after all, you don't want to chase too much when you are batting second. Although the team batting second always has the advantage because they know exactly how to pace how to pace the score because they know how much overs, what target they are heading towards. So I guess they will consider themselves pretty fortunate to be batting second.
Well, in this tournament here, we have seen, throughout the tournament over the weekend, we have seen that the team that batted last, most of the time they end up being the winner. And today we see the KRCA, they're batting first. They're 12 for 1, 3 overs, which is pretty early. We're playing a 20 over affair here. So at 12 for 1, I would say it's evenly posed at this time. That one was pushed back down to the bowler and no runs there. So Patel continues.
And Banke is on 1 from 4. I guess he'll be trying to push things on. Yes, down through. Oh, that was a direct hit. Let's see what the umpire will be saying. And they are safe. But that was a very good throw coming in there. And direct hit. Rearrange the furniture. But the umpire came in, not with the dreaded finger, but just to do a bit of repairs.
So pretty good feeling there in the outfield, The youngster picked up and threw at the wicket, and it was a direct hit. But August was safely in his grounds, and the score goes up by 1. It's 13 for 1.
Oh, that was a good shot. That was a correct shot. Just pushes that one down to short mid-off and picking up 1 run. But that was a proper shot.
Yes, good shot there by August to get off the mark, so it was a push down to long off. And now we see Banky going for the exuberant drive, which should bring him at least 2 runs here. So Banky been batting good all of yesterday afternoon in the semifinals, and we see him here today again, looking pretty good at the top of the innings. So good shot there by Banky.
Yeah, pretty shot right through the covers. Yeah, what we have sweeper. Only 2 players can be outside of the circle, and it just happened that they're on the offside, so those boundaries are protected. Quick single, that was good running. Little bit of overthrow, but was brilliantly backed up. No chance of coming back for the second.
So Banky is looking pretty good, pretty confident, and just turning that one on the leg side, and he was able to go through for a quick single. And here's another misfielding and another single being added to the KRCA total, and it goes up to 18 for 1 in over number 4.
At the end of over number 4, I guess we could say that KRCA can bank on Banky. He's doing very good at this time. 5 from 7. It's still early days, 2 overs to go in the power play, so it's still a chance for them to get a few more runs, 2 overs, and they'll accelerate, and in so doing be able to put a decent score on the board.
Yes, so Banky is a batsman to look out for the future. I've seen him yesterday afternoon. He looked pretty good against the medium fast and also against the spin. He was able to basically score all around the field yesterday. Just need a little bit more strength, but we can see he is a class of a batsman and doing pretty well so far.
So over number 5, it's on its way. Over number 5, Singh is bowling over number 5, and he's coming from the West Palm Beach end. And I know that Ian is coming from West Palm Beach.
Yes, I know. Coming from West Palm Beach, it's a bit of a journey to get down here in Fort Lauderdale, actually almost an hour drive, but with the rain and the wet road, it could be a little difficult getting down. But this morning I get down here pretty easily. The road was okay. Seems like the rain, everybody was staying off the road. So
I know exactly what happened. No schools are out, so it much lighter traffic.
There you go. So the kids are here. This is the under 17 affair, and we're in the final where we have KRCA playing the Ontario Reds, and the game is on. 19 runs to the KRCA with 1 wicket down, and we are now in the 5th over.
And just a little more to do with the weather. I was made to understand that the airport, Fort Lauderdale International Airport, that is not too far from us, was closed last night for 2.5 hours because of the deluge that we've been having.
Yes, definitely. I heard that there was a lot of rain last night,
and that one is cut through the vacant slip and is being chased there. They have taken 1, they have taken 2, and that will be all. So the score has moved on by 2, 22 for 1 after 4 overs and 4 balls. Yes, Jan, you were saying?
Yes, I was saying with the overnight rain, that's one of the reasons why the airport was basically closed down, as you say. I heard it was a lot of rain last night, so the flights going out, it would be dangerous to take off in that type of a weather. But today we are having good weather, especially in the afternoon here, as we're having lovely cricket. 22 for 1, KRCA, Ontario Reds, they are bowling, and Singh is bowling pretty well so far. They managed to keep the KRCA batsman a little contained here. Good bowling.
That one is cracked through the offside, through the covers, but well fielded, only one. Score move on to 23. And it's 23 for 1 after 5 overs.
Yes, so August seemed to be pretty confident in playing his shot through the offside, you know. Also, we see Banky. He is a very much relaxed batsman, and he take his time, he paces innings, and with him at the wicket, I know KRCA will be getting some runs. You know, he's patient and he's also watching. So, good batsman, and still want to give it up to the Ontario Reds in terms of their bowling here this morning. 5 overs and 23 runs on the board. Good going.
And both batters are on 6 from 9. So 6 from 9, a bit of competition going on there. And the final over of the power play coming up.
So we have a new bowler being introduced here. Himansu.
Okay, so we're going to have a change in the commentary booth. Fiza and Roshni will be coming to take over from here.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everyone.
So, Roshni, over here we have KRCA batting first, and Ontario Reds bowling. They have restricted KRCA to 25 for the loss of 1 wicket, and 5.2 overs have gone. This is a 20 overs game. What are your thoughts for now?
Well, one, if you didn't know, Ontario Reds are actually the champions from last year.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a tough final. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, that was a good try, but misfield, costing 1 run. So we have seen the strategy in the limited overs that the bowling side mostly opens the attack with spinners and having an attacking field. And over here, we have the slip which was needed in the previous over as well. So this seems to be a really good strategy by Ontario Reds. That's Himansu tossing it up. That was elevated, but lands safely for a couple of runs over there. So we have good batsmen on strike, August and Banke. He was pretty dominating yesterday, Roshni.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think right now, I mean, both the teams are very competitive. We saw from both their scores.
Oh, that's a dot ball. That was a really good ball shaping away from the batsman. And for a left-handed batsman, off-spin is pretty much difficult to play. This seems to be a really good ball. A really good strategy by Ontario Reds, trying to attack the batsman, having an attacking field, slip in place, the bowler bowling outside off stump, forcing the batsman to just make a mistake. So in 6 overs, we have 27 runs for the loss of 1 wicket, and the current run rate is 4.5 runs. What do you think, Roshni, this kind of platform we are seeing youngsters playing in right now, how do you think this is benefiting them?
I mean, it's definitely going to be benefiting them. For the KRCA, they're coming on an international tour.
Exactly.
So, you know, they're going to be playing on a different platform at an ICC level as well. And for Ontario, I mean, it's also an international match for them. You know, they're coming to another country. They're getting opportunity to play at the stadium.
Yes.
And if you look at in the past years, you would never get a chance like this at a youth stage.
Exactly. And this is really important when it comes to player development, to play in that kind of atmosphere. So a couple of more runs. That wasn't a really good ball. It was going towards the leg side. And this batsman just worked it up for a couple of more runs. So there is strike rotation for KRCA. We saw that they were dominating side yesterday that had this solid position into the finals. So they're also a very good team. and they will just need to build up that partnership to have a dominating score in the 20 overs. We have Singh bowling in. He has a really good action and a very good rhythm. So more runs. That was edged towards the third man position.
So far, his bowling figures are also really good. This is his fourth over,
Yeah,
and he's taken 1 wicket and only given 10 runs.
exactly. So its economy rate is really good, Singh's bowling. And if he continues this way, he'll be able to help his team contain the runs and not allow KRCA to put up a big total.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good shot, played towards the cover, worked away for a single. So I think there are not much boundaries flowing in right now, which may cause the batsman to become under pressure, because this is what limited overs does. As the overs go by, you're forced to strike up the run rate, but the batsman will just need to be more patient, because they will have a very good platform reaching the 10 overs. So that seems to be a very good shot, and that has been hit
And
for a possible 4, I would say. It was just short
I
of the
believe
rope.
it was a 4,
Yeah.
but I guess
Yes,
they
yeah.
heard you. You
Yes.
know, they heard you. They got
But
in that boundary, and that'll definitely boost up the confidence, and then they'll definitely be able to keep it going.
Yes, and I think this will give more confidence to the opening batsman. Of course, we are 1 wicket down, and August just worked it away for a very good shot towards the mid-on side, adding 4 runs. And this is what they need to do. They just need to build up a good partnership, rotate the strike, and play their shots. That's a pretty wide ball, giving away a lot of room to the batsman. And this is what the bowlers need to do. They need to keep up to their plan of bowling in a disciplined and tight line, not allowing the batsmen to open up their arms, because if they allow a partnership to be built, they won't be able to maintain the pressure on the batters. In fact, the pressure will shift to their own team. That's another good shot, play towards the cover, just for a single. So there I have clear communication running between the wickets. What are your thoughts about running between the wickets so far?
I mean, so far, it's not that they're giving away too many drop balls, so it's
Yep.
definitely on the better. I mean, last night, when KRCA were bowling, they were really restrictive, where they were, making sure they got in those drop balls so batsmen weren't taking any runs.
Exactly.
So they know that, whenever they get a chance to take in those singles. So at the end of 7 overs, it's 36 for 1 loss.
So the current rate is 5.1 runs per over. And I think if they keep going on like this, they will be able to have a really decent score up there. But to be in the dominating position, they will need to spike it up to maybe 7 runs per over.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll definitely need to keep it going and try to play and keep the partnership going,
Exactly,
getting those
yeah.
runs in and hitting a few boundaries as well.
Yes, just capitalizing on the opportunities. But it seems that if Ontario Reds give away that kind of opportunity, it's all on the bowlers. If they are focused on their line, that would make it hard for KRCA. So we'll just have to see how these bowlers are able to contain the runs so far. So we have Himanshu back into the bowling attack. This time Banke is on strike. And there's no slip this time. Maybe a change of plan from the bowler, keeping it really wicket to wicket. And that is a overthrow costing a lot of runs. And these are the tiny mistakes that cost the team loss of momentum, I would say.
And you can see the awareness from the batting side as well. They made sure they can get that extra run in.
Yeah, I think this is what they're doing. They're capitalizing on their opportunities. And this is what the character they have shown, KRCA, yesterday, was that their game awareness, like you said, and they are really good at capitalizing whatever opportunity they get, whether it's fielding, batting, or bowling. They react to the situation in a very good way. So we have Mansu tossing it up, and that has been worked away towards the cover side. Some good fielding over there. So we have Banke on 11 runs for 15 balls. He was really instrumental yesterday. That's another good ball that has been cut away, and really good fielding at the point side, restricting the possible boundary or a couple of runs over there. And cut short is one of the favors for the left-handers when they're facing an off-spinner.
Mm-hmm.
So these two batsmen, they were really good yesterday. Do you think if they play a good role today, they'll be able to have a dominating position for KRCA?
I definitely think so. I mean, you can see they're definitely building up their partnership. They have a good understanding between themselves. You know, with the running in between, there hasn't been any misunderstanding that we did see from some of the sides last night. So I think, you know, if they keep it going, they'll definitely be able to build up that partnership, get that current run rate up, and build some pressure on the Ontario Reds.
Yes. And we are looking at Banke and August. They're trying to work away really good shots towards the offside. Playing the off spinner with a lot of confidence. Himanshu is a really good bowler and he's keeping it disciplined, and this is what he needs to do. He has some really good deliveries over there, and if he restricts these batsmen to just playing dot balls, he will push them to make a possible mistake, and this is what they wouldn't need at this stage. So Himanshu is bowling the current over. That has been tossed up in a full toss. That has been worked away really nicely for another boundary. In fact, those are 6 runs. That was a really good shot played by Banke, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was a great shot.
The swing of the bat was lovely. Just maintaining that balance and swinging that ball away for a 6 runs.
So at the end of 8 overs, that's 45 for just 1 loss. So clearly, you know, they're getting the momentum going. They've built in a lot of confidence, and they're playing some very good shots, keeping the runs going.
Yeah.
So I think right now, you know, they're on a good side. I think they will be able to, if they keep these wickets in hand, I think they'll be able to build their score.
Yeah, and I think like we said, they are really good batsmen because they're capitalizing on the opportunities. This was in fact a bad ball. It was tossed away and it gave a lot of time to the batsman to decide and play a very confident shot. The balance was really good. The technique was really good. And the bat swing matching with the footwork. This is what we need. You need really good execution by top quality batsmen. And these two youngsters are promising to be really good prospects for their own academy and possibly really good leagues in the future. And I'm sure whoever is watching, whoever needs more talent in cricket, you never know, these are the future superstars.
Yeah. And this is why this youth tournament is such a great platform.
Exactly. So we have Sharma back. He seems to be another spinner. So he would be looking at breaking this partnership to have Ontario Reds back into the commanding position, because we're already in the 8 overs and the current run rate is around 5.6. If they are able to push it back, maybe let's say 4 runs per over or so, they will have a low total, which will be easy to defend. So he's a leg spinner. That's a full toss ball that has been worked away towards the covers. It went over and they've managed to take 2 runs. Again, good show of running between the wickets, great awareness, and good clear communication between the batsmen.
No, that's really important. They've got some really good communication going on. So there's no misunderstanding. They're taking their calls and they're...
Exactly. That's a better ball, and that has been worked away towards the gully side. The fielder managing it really well and not allowing many runs for the batsman. So that was the second ball by Sharma. Even leg spinners, I would say, are really hard to play for left-handers. Sometimes it's tricky if you have a lot of variations. And over here we are looking at Sharma, who's coming into the momentum slowly. And if he's able to have a breakthrough for his team, that will be a much needed wicket. That's a great shot played, and that was swept away. A bit of misfielding over there, costing a couple of runs for
They were-
K.
They managed to get the 2 runs
Exactly,
in.
yeah, that's
And
great
we're
running.
looking at two sides that have, they have both very good programs for themselves. So it's a very both competitive side where they do go out and play many matches around the country themselves. So it's really great to see that. You can see, they have a lot of experience under their belt as well.
Yes, and this is what is happening. If two really good teams are competing against each other, they are just nourishing their skills in a better way. And that has been worked away towards mid-on for another single. And then 50 comes up for KRCA for the loss of 1 wicket in 8.5 overs. So they have scored a 50 in 8 overs, possibly 9. They would ideally want to take the score up to 150 or 120, I would say. That would be a really good score.
Mm-hmm.
That's again tossed up towards the mid-on side for another single. So they're rotating the strike over here pretty well.
Yeah.
One thing which we can see is Ontario Reds, they're not trying to manipulate the field to trick away the batsmen. I think it will be a good strategy if they are able to do that, to confuse the batsmen and possibly push them to make any mistake.
Yeah.
Because if these two batsmen keep going, they'll be able to have a really good run rate over there. Because we're possibly left with 11 overs.
Yeah, no, the Ontario Reds definitely need to think of a way to break this partnership to really, get that momentum for them
Exactly,
to go.
yeah. They need to shift the momentum to their own side. And KRCA yesterday, we saw that in all departments they were outstanding.
Mhm.
When it comes to bowling, they were executing their plans. There was disciplined bowling. The fielders were supporting them well. And over here, this is what we need from Ontario Reds. Just to have really good bowling supported by good catches and just causing opportunities. So we have Hamza bowling in. Okay, that has been worked away for that was a really good shot. Played towards the square leg. And another boundary for KRCA. They're spiking up their current run rate, and it is now 6 runs per over. And this is what they will try to do. They will try to increase the run rate and just put up a good total, because whenever you have good runs on the board, it is hard to chase that. And of course, in the men's cricket, if you talk about Virat Kohli, he's one of the best batsmen we've ever seen, who has consistently chased really big totals. So that has been indicated as a no ball. Again, good awareness by KRCA batsmen who have managed to take another single.
It seems like Hamza's a little bit on pressure, a boundary on the first ball.
Exactly.
Second ball's a no ball.
But this is what these kind of platforms can help them learn, that how do you handle the pressure?
Yeah.
Because match practice is what takes the player to develop himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a better ball that has been worked away really fine. But that lands just short of a boundary. It was up in the air for a long time.
Yeah, no, I think cricket is a very mental-based sport, so it's really important for players to, not think too much about the pressure, not think about too much about, especially for a bowler, what they bowled the last ball, take every delivery as a new ball.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot of presence of mind that you need, especially when you're batting, because you cannot just, you don't have time to think about if you
really
played a bad shot or a
yeah.
good shot. You just need to keep going. So that has been tossed up, and that has been worked away towards the mid-on. Good running between the wickets, and that's some good fielding over there. But we are looking at the overthrows. I think this might cost Ontario Reds in the end if this ends up to be a narrow game, because these are the tiny things that matter in the end.
Yeah, there have been a couple of misfields that have costed those extra runs.
And in the short format of cricket, this really matters a lot. these additional runs.
We saw that in the final of the World Cup.
Yes, and that has been worked with soft hands towards the fine leg. So this is what is good to see, that these batsmen know how to play the ball on merit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just trying to toss up every ball.
Yes.
They know, okay, they're able to spot that this is the region they're going to attack wherever the ball is delivered to that spot. Because what we can see is good punches over there, and also use of good wrists with soft hands. So we have Hamza again bowling in. That was worked away for a good single. So they're rotating the strike, not letting the bowlers put up any pressure on the batting side. The pressure seems to be on the bowlers, Roshni.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for Hamza, it's the last ball of the delivery, and he already has 13 runs from it. So let's see how this last ball goes for him.
That seems to be an expensive over. So Hamza into the last delivery of the 7th over. That was a slow ball played very nicely for a single. Just a soft touch worked away towards the offside. So now the current run rate is 6.5, Roshni.
Yeah, so it's increasing.
Yes.
So at the end of 10 overs, it's 65 for just one loss. So clearly they've built up that partnership they needed. So Ontario Reds really need to get in there and figure out how to get one of these batsmen out and have a new batsman at the crease. And then things might change for them.
Yeah. Because having a new batsman is obviously a bit tricky position. A new batsman has to take his time to settle in.
And these two batsmen seem pretty set. They've been taking those runs and taking in boundaries.
So we are 10 overs up for 65 for the loss of 1 wicket. And we'll have change in commentary box. Over to the guys again.
Good afternoon to our fans again. We just want to thank you guys for watching on MAQTV. Those of you who are watching live, and for our Facebook fans, we want to thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing as we are here for the finals of the Under-17. That's a U.S. Open here, cricket. Lovely cricket here in Fort Lauderdale. We are at the Broward Regional Stadium, and this T20 being put on by no other than Mr. Mohammed Qureshi, and this is where we get to feature the youths. Yesterday we have seen where the men's, had amazing finals, where the Somerset Cavaliers walk away with that championship, and today we are here with the youths, and it's KRCA who is now batting at 67 for 1 after 10 overs, and it's the Ontario Reds who are bowling. So Auguste and Banke putting up a very good partnership, and this is after Ontario Red made an early breakthrough. We thought that they had it under control, but these two batsmen have definitely repaired that damage, and they're now taking it to the Ontario Reds. So good batting here from these two batsmen, Auguste and Banke. And with me is no other than Audley. And Audley, what would you have to say about this?
Good going. They have consolidated after you said before they have lost the early wicket, and now they have settled down, and they are destined to put some big some big score on the board, and they're going about it not in dramatic fashion, but they are turning the strikes over. That's not a lot of dot balls, and that's what they are here to definitely establish a good score. And this tournament is so filled with international flavor, because the finals, very final itself, the KRCA, they are from Trinidad and Tobago. Ontario Red, they are from Canada. And we have the umpire, Mr. Bali Ramnares. He is from Trinidad and Tobago. And we have Sarakana Kumar. He is from India. So a lot of international flavor right here. And of course, we are from Jamaica.
Yes, so two Jamaican happen to be in the box. This was not planned, but it's what's going on at the moment, and I must give it up to the umpires. They've been working tirelessly over the entire weekend. Started here on Thursday. They work in between the rain. As you know, we are here in South Florida. It's a sunny Florida, but yet still this weekend we were hit with rain, but we managed to complete the T20 US Open for the men's, and now we are about to complete the T20 for the under 17, and it's gonna be an interesting final here between KRCA and the Ontario Reds, with the two batsmen being at the crease. They're pretty much set. Auguste on 31, Banke on 26.
Actually, Ian, it's rather surprising that we're even having play right now. This morning, it was looking quite dangerous. It looking as if there would be no play up to 9 o'clock. It was still raining heavily. But once again, kudos to the curator and his crew. They have worked assiduously. And here we are looking at the pitch. It's as if it did not rain at all. The outfield is still quite a little heavy. You find that the balls are not running away to the boundary. When it hit in the air, it landed. Most of the time they're able to catch up with those balls. But that's the nature of the beast. They are making the best of it. And this one was hit out in the cover area, but in the air, but just out of the reach of the fielder there. So they have moved on to 72 for 1. That is...
Yes, Banke. So Banke, he's not afraid to come down the wicket, and we have seen it from yesterday. He uses his feet well, and also there goes a big hit there by August, who hits that all the way over mid-on for 4 runs into the boundary. Very well played shot there by the youngster August. Came down the track, and away he goes, and it is 4 runs well played by the youngster. And that take his tally up to 36 of just 30 balls.
Yes, they are doing well. We can see that these youngsters, they are tomorrow's, they are the future. They are the ones that will maybe 5, 10 years from now, we'll be watching them performing in the regular T20. I mean, in the senior version, because they are already in the US Open in the junior section. They will be coming through, hopefully, and even going on to bigger things.
Good stroke there by August down to mid-off. He gets a quick single. So it's very good to see these youngsters using the feet against the slower bowlers. That simple mean, it could tell you that they have very good coaches that is coaching these kids. They're using their feet pretty well. They're finding the space and they're taking the singles. So they're playing excellent cricket at this stage.
Very good running between the wickets there, because shot through the covers and they ran for the first one very quickly. So they were able to return for the second without being in much danger. It's all a part of the wonderful cricket that we are having here at the Broward County Stadium. I'm just going to say once again, welcome to those who have just joined us on MAQTV, whether you are in India, Pakistan, wherever you are in Asia or the Caribbean, here in America, or wherever you are. Just to remind that you are watching US Open on MAQTV. And it's finals of the under 17 competition, where we have KRCA from Trinidad and Tobago. They are playing in the finals against Ontario Red, and presently they are 79 for 1 after 11.5 overs.
What a shot there by August. He went down the track and hit that all the way over the bowler down into the boundary, and that signal came in 6 runs to him.
I think this is the first Jenny Craig moment for the umpires for today. You know, taking his exercise, both hands stretched towards the heavens.
Yes, that was a pretty good hit there by the youngster. And now we see him playing a sweep shot. He managed to get a quick single. So as it is, the youngsters, you know, from the KRCA team, August and Banke, they are willing to now turn on the pressure on the Ontario Reds, who definitely need a wicket to break this partnership here.
And of course, when you are almost 80 runs and there's still 9 wickets in hand, then you have, yes, you can go for it. It's not that you're worrying about like only 2 or 3 wickets. You know, they have that luxury of going after the big shots.
Yes, so very good batting here by Banke and August. And Kumar, he is bowling at his best, but these batsmen, they are willing to take him on. They're coming down the track using their feet pretty well, and they're taking the singles, and this is good cricket. Wonderful cricket here by the youngsters. You know, we're definitely enjoying it, just watching these youngsters and the way they are approaching the game of cricket. You can tell we have a bright future for cricket right here in the USA and also around the world, because we have teams that have come into this competition not just from the USA here, which we did not actually feature a team. You know, most of these teams are from outside. You know, we see Trinidad here and we see Canada in the final, so that tells you something.
And the ball before this was a good shot down to long on, but because it's the outfield is a bit heavy, they only got to this one. Yes, definitely another Jenny Craig moment for the umpire. Both hands in the air, signaling maximum or 6 runs.
And that brings up the 50 for August. Well played 50 by him. You know, he advanced again down the track all the way over mid-off. And it's 6 runs into the boundary. This youngster is shaping up, looking very good. Batted well yesterday. Come back here today, looking good. And he is very confident in terms of the shot that he's playing here today.
So he's a player of class.
Yesterday I watched him early in his inning. He was a little troubled by the spin bowling, but today it seems like he had gone back in and the coach probably had talked to him, you know, in terms of using his feet, and today we see him come out here using his feet much better than yesterday, and he's taking charge of this game. Yesterday it was Banke, today is August who is really taking control, and right at this moment I can say KRCA is turning on the pressure on the Ontario Reds.
Yes, I guess we could say they have got it worked out. They worked out that the kinks that were there, and now they are definitely on top.
So the Ontario Reds, I think they have to get their act together right here, or they'll be tracing a big total. We still have 7 overs to go. It's a 20-over affair, and KRCA is 95 for 1. You know, these batsmen, they are set. They've been at the wicket for a very long while. There have been a big partnership between the two. Both Banke and August been playing very well here, look very confident, and they're really playing. And that one was through mid-wicket, and there's only a single, but these batsmen are batting pretty well here.
Yeah, Hamza, the bowler, new bowler, coming from the southern end, or the Miami end, commentator's end. One from the first delivery.
So it's Hamza that is bowling here to August. Ogis, a correction there. So Ogis is the one that is bowling, is batting. And that was well played by him. You know, another single to him. He goes up to 53 from 37. So good batting here by Ogis. And Banke is also batting well at the other end.
That one a dot ball. Not very dot balls we have seen here today, Ian.
Well, these batsmen, you know, they've been taking the singles. You know, earlier on they weren't getting the boundary, but they were still taking the single. They were turning over the strike, and at this point we see Agis really taking on the bowling. He's getting a liking for these bowlers. He's actually hitting sixes.
Well, that is saying you don't have to necessarily hit a lot of boundaries to have a good strike rate. Presently, the run rate is 7.2. So it's steady progress. And we're just one away from the 100. 99 for one, and we're in the 14th over.
So that was a well executed shot there by Banke. He went on the front foot, he waited, and he placed that perfectly through the cover region. He managed to get 2 runs, add to his tally. So good batting here by the youngster. And here is again down the track. He hits that one back over cover, and he should pick up another 2 runs here. So good batting by the youngsters. You know, they're using their feet, they're finding the gaps, and they're turning over the runs in terms of the singles. They're taking their singles, and they're batting pretty well.
And the 100 is up. It's 101 for one. It's 101 for one in the 14th over. Final ball coming up by Hamza. That one, quick single, maybe 2. Yes, very good running by the batters. Little danger at the north end, but in the end, all is well that end well. He was home safely. So they've moved on to 103 for 1. 103 for 1. And
yeah, I see Banke holding his tie there. I wonder if he overextend himself in terms of getting that second run there. But yeah, you see that he's stretching that left leg. I hope all is well with him. We would not want to lose him in the game here today, because he had batted pretty well yesterday, and I really love the way he is approaching this innings. He's 37, just 13 shy of his 50, so good batting. And as we look out, the clouds, they look a little heavy, but you know, the rain managed to stay away, and we hope it will stay away until we get to the end of this game here today, because you know, it's great cricket being played. We really would not want to see this game get affected by the rain. You know, we realize we had a delay start in terms of the finals here, but we're off, and it's very good cricket. And we just want to say thanks again to Mr. Mohammed Qureshi, who have put on such a lovely event here in the Broward Stadium, where he features both the senior and the youngsters.
yes, indeed. I must join you by saying those clouds are looking pretty ominous. Hopefully, it will stay to our north or to our south, but it will not stay over. We don't want them to hover over us and releasing any of those liquid gold. There's a right time for it, you know. For right now, we need to have some cricket.
Yes, it's getting a little dark out there, and if anything, the light will have to come on, but it's still good cricket being played here. Quick single to the point, and these batsmen, they're running pretty well in between the wicket. The communication between both batsmen being
Excellent.
excellent. That's the word I was looking for there. Pretty good running here.
And the partnership, it's not on the board right now, but I know it's pretty close to 100. They've been batting quite well. You can hear two. Yes, and safely home. Not in danger of being run out. We are in over number 15. It's 108 for 1. Strike rate ticking up slightly. The run rate ticking up slightly. It's now 7.5. And they are heading in the right direction. It's going up. Yeah.
Yes, these two youngsters, they're playing pretty good cricket. You know, they lost an early wicket, and they came together pretty early, and they carved out a perfect inning here between both of them, you know, where they're finding the gap in the field, taking the singles. Then later on here, you see they're also finding the boundaries, but definitely they are keeping that scoreboard ticking here between Banke and Agis. They're batting pretty well with Agis on 56 from 39, Banke 38 from 37. You could not have asked for a better partnership at this current moment here. Well played by the both youngsters.
I think that is script the captain is looking for, and that was well scripted, and they are playing to the script.
Yes, definitely. That would have been communicated to them, by their coaches, because definitely we realize that these youngsters have a very good unit in terms of the team. We see the unit there; they're very well together. We saw them in the nets. We saw them on the field in the practice session before the game, and definitely they're well organized and they have a good management team there with them. So we expect great things from these guys in the future.
Pretty good shot through the covers there. We are coming up to the end of over number 15. That one a little bit of misfield. One turn into two. One thing for sure, they have always make use of the opportunity to make a second run. And that's a part of, that's been good cricket.
Yes, I think the Ontario Reds are getting a little weary in the field, and this is based on the fact that these two batsmen have really turned on the pressure. They have everyone out there in that outfield running. At times when they're not able to find the boundary, they find that gap so well that they'll bisect both fielders, and both fielder will have to stretch the legs to try and get that ball back into the keeper. So they're getting them a little tired on the feet out there. So this is excellent cricket from these two youngsters here, Agis and Banke. Very good cricket. It's now 113 for 1, and it's KRCA who is batting. Ontario Reds is a bowling team, and it's good cricket here.
And Patel will be coming back into the attack. We are looking for our new commentators to take up the attack, but they are not here as yet. So we'll continue until they arrive. So Patel will be taking up the attack. 2 overs for 12, none for 12 so far. Over number 3 for Patel.
So looking at the game so far, this is what you call cricket at its best. To see the youngsters playing so professional, in terms of the way they approach the game, mentally you see that these guys are prepared. You realize the mindset that they have. They're willing to wait until the ball is right, and that's a drop catch out in the field there. That's a big miss there.
And we'll make a change in the commentary box.
So Auguste been put down here. Agis is been put down. So we have a change in the commentary box.
Double change.
Thank you, guys. So we have Sumit joining me in the commentary box.
Hafiza.
So what are your thoughts, Sumit, so far about the match?
I think Ontario Reds are going good right now. So they are now 114 for 15.3.
That's KRCA, in fact. Batting first, 114.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. 114 for 1 and 15.4 overs already. If they can manage to get more runs in the next couple of overs, I think that'll be a very dominating total. That will be.
I'm expecting they should reach 150 because other day on the MAC ground, they played very well and they were very good while batting.
And that was worked away really good towards the third man region for a couple of runs over there. They've managed to get 2 runs. So we have Agis and Banke who are really on good. Okay, that was a pretty wide ball, but that has been worked away for a single. So we have Agis on 58 on 42 balls and Banke on 44 for 43 balls, and I think they have managed to do pretty well.
So over number 16 is over, and KRCA is on 117 for 1. So 4 more hours left.
So that could potentially be a wide, but that was the batsman was trying to work it away for possibly a boundary towards the backward region, and ended up touching it, hence 1 run. We have Patel who's going to ball. So we still have 4 overs to go. The current run rate is 7.3. If they can manage to play like this and maybe capitalize on a couple of more boundaries.
Yeah, because they have lost only 1 wicket till
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
and they have 9 wickets in hand, and they can blast now on the field.
Yes, I think this is an opportunity where Ontario Reds will still need to restrict and contain these runs, because these additional runs can be really costly for them, and it will just make the chase really hard for them if they cross, let's say 120 or 130.
Correct. Agree.
Again, that the batsman was trying to sweep that away, but couldn't really touch the ball.
It's a wide now.
So a single run also ran, and this is what we're looking at. This is really impressive at such a young age. They know how to rotate the strike so well, and they do not miss any opportunity.
Correct. Good shot.
That's gone towards the cover side. That wasn't really middled that much, but still landed in the safe zone.
Yeah, they took
And
one
additional
run.
runs. So they're
Yeah.
120 up now for the loss of only 1 wicket and 16.1 overs.
So Banke is on strike right now. He's on 44. And Himanshu is the bowler.
That has been tossed up.
Oh, the ball hits the wicket.
So the bowler was
Batsman is
indicating
safe.
and asking the umpire if that could
Batsman is safe.
be. That didn't look like an appeal, did it?
I think they did.
It wasn't a good appeal then. Yeah, that could potentially be out if the bowler touched the ball before it hit the wicket, and nothing over there though.
So Himanshu is on his third ball. He has given 26 runs so far. Banke is on strike. What a
So I
Okay.
guess it's raining again. It has started to drizzle
very heavy.
very
and,
heavily, in fact, right now. So the match has been interrupted. The weather has been really unpredictable, I would say, throughout this tournament. First, we saw the Senior US Open being interrupted so many times, but we still managed to get really good games. And this Youth Cup has been tremendous so far. Unfortunately, during the finals, the weather is not being too friendly. What do you think, Sumit? Isn't this a hard thing for the players? They just want to play, of
so
course.
we looked at the weather forecast for today. So we thought that the weather will be clear throughout the day today, but and that is why we have 20 over final over here. And again, the rain has interrupted the play. So the umpires and the management will take a decision how we'll go forward with this.
Yeah, I think it was really funny because it was just started to drizzle really heavily, and now there is nothing pouring in.
Correct. So
So we're going
I
to
think the
continue
batsman is
playing,
going
which
back.
is a very good sign because we still have 4 overs to go in the first innings.
yes.
And this is what we would want. We want to watch more cricket, have really good matches over there.
I would like to have 20 over game because we
Exactly.
have one more final after that for under 15s.
Yes.
So I hope that God will bless and the game will continue till its end.
Yeah, I think there's still light rain over there. Let's just hope, fingers crossed, that it doesn't really pour in heavily. So we have Himanshu back to complete his
So
over.
third ball.
So that has been worked away towards the straight, towards the onside for 2 more runs. Really good running between the wickets by Augis and Banke.
Yeah, the Banke right now is on 46.
Just 4 runs short
Four
of his 50.
of his 50.
And I think when you reach that score individually, that puts you in a really good position because then you can potentially see the cricket ball like a football
I know.
because you've worked so hard. You have a clear eyesight. Your concentration level is really
And
good.
the both batsmen is on the ground for a long right now. And
Exactly.
so
So that
they're
has been
pretty
worked
set.
away for a cut shot. That was a really good shot. Again, rotating the strike. The rotation of strike has been really impressive over here. This is something even the senior cricketers even struggle with.
exactly.
So this is what this youth tournament is helping. This is helping the youth to develop into really good cricketers, utilize all of their skills, and it's it's really great that
this is a big platform
yeah,
where they're playing. So
and the world is getting to
world
see.
is getting to see all these players.
That's a really good shot that has been swept away for one more run. It's really
So
hard
after
to play the
completion
sweep
of
shot.
17 overs, the score. No, I
Yes.
think one more ball left for this over. Sorry for that.
Yeah, that's okay. So we
It's
have
124 for 1 after 16.5 overs. And Banke is on 47 and he's taking a strike.
So we have Himanshu bowling in his last ball of his 4th over. He has had a really pricey spell so far. That's a good ball that has been edged away towards fine leg for 1 run.
And batsman is running for the second. So
And that's they're safe, and that's really good running, really good sprinting by the two batsmen on the pitch.
So they have
Banke
taken 3
hits
runs.
50.
They have taken 3
Yes.
runs. So Banke has completed his half century out of 47 balls.
A well-deserved 50, I would
Well
say.
deserved 50. And Himanshu, I guess, has completed his overs. So
So we have 3 overs left.
So for this game, we have for this inning, we have 3 overs left.
Yep. So 127 for the loss of only 1 wicket. In 3 overs, if they can manage to get, let's say, another 20 or 23.
So initially, I was thinking of they will get they should get up to 150, but now I think they should go beyond that right now.
I am sure they will try to go beyond that because they have wickets in hand. But these are the last overs of the innings, and they will try to score as many runs as possible. So let's see what the bowlers have in mind if they can restrict KRCA, because it will be really hard to chase anything above 6 runs per over, and the current run rate is 7.5.
And the new bowler, Gibson has taken a ball, and he will be bowling from the pavilion end. He will be bowling his first over, and
so that has been worked away towards the onside, towards the mid-wicket region for.
no ball.
They've managed to get 1 run as well. That's a free hit indicated.
Yes.
Okay, that's a dead ball. Gibson lost a bit of rhythm over there and coming back to ball again. That's some good leg spin and a chance of a catch, but it's really hard to react that way. That could potentially be a cotton ball, but it's a dropped catch. Just touching the fingers, slipping away from Gibson. That's a good ball. Again, leg spin and off spin. It's a challenge for the left-handers. You have to be really good with your technique.
Exactly. The Banke is concentrating. The Gibson is on 3rd ball.
That has been pulled away towards the onside. Another misfield, costing additional runs, and these are the runs that they really need to contain. Otherwise, it will be some trouble for Ontario Reds. The bigger the total, psychologically, it will just put them under pressure.
So 15 balls left for this inning, and KRCA is on 132 after the loss of 1 wicket. Banke is on strike, and Gibson will be bowling his 4th ball.
That was a good ball. Some hesitation over there between the batsmen, but they land in safely for 1 run. So 133 for the loss of 1 wicket, 17.4 overs. And the way they're going, I think they'll just get more runs. Sumit.
Right.
Yep.
I think they should start hitting the ball hard right now, because they don't have much ball in hand. Only 14 balls left, and they should try to get as many runs as possible.
Okay, but that's the batsman was just trying to have a reverse sweep over there, but losing his wicket. pinching the ball straight to the stumps, and August goes for 61 on 46 balls.
It's a very good inning played by August.
He was batting so well, in fact, if he could take away KRCA to another 3 overs, it would have been really dangerous, but a much needed wicket for Ontario Reds right now.
Correct. So the new batsman is on the crease, and they have to set themselves first before they blast. So
yeah,
definitely.
I think what will be good for KRCA would be to give the strike back to Banke, because he's a settled batsman. He knows all the bowlers. He knows he has been able to negotiate with the ball pretty well, and KRC wouldn't have much trouble now, because already the current run rate is 7.5. They are in good hands right now, but additional runs will only benefit them.
Right. So now the new batsman is Gray. He will be facing Gibson. So Gibson is on the last ball.
I think when we talk about spinners, whether a leg spinner or an off spinner, it's really important to have varieties, because if you have a couple of balls only, it doesn't take much time for the batsman to just read from the hand. And really intelligent batsmen, they are really good at spotting the kind of grip you have, and this is where you need to surprise them. Let's see if we can see what Gibson can do over here for Ontario Reds, because we only have 2 overs to go.
So Gray is taking the strike, and Gibson is on his last ball. He really hit hard, but
that wasn't timed well. It was in the air though.
So 1 run to Gray, and it's the end of the over, 18. So KRCA is on 134 for 2 after 18 overs.
And the current run rate is 7.4. We have seen that it's spiking up slowly. With 2 overs remaining, I think they still look good to possibly cross or even make 150.
I think they should go beyond 150 now, because they need 16 runs if they want to reach 150.
Yeah.
And again, Gray is a new batsman. He's on strike. He should give more and more strike to Banke.
Exactly.
Set batsman who can blast now.
And Ontario Reds would need their best bowlers to bowl the death overs to possibly contain these 12 deliveries and have less runs over here. If they can do that, that will still give them some confidence when they come out for the chase.
And last day on a MAC ground, KRCA, I believe they batted. I'm sorry, Ontario Greens batted second, and they chased a good run.
And I think chase,
they have good batsmen in their team, and they can really chase this 134 or 150, whatever they make.
So that's Kumar bowling in. That was worked away towards the onside for another run. So Kumar is just going to try to keep the bowling as disciplined as possible and not let the batsmen score more runs, because if they can contain at this stage, I think they would ideally want them to restrict below 150. That has been tossed up, and that's a very good shot.
Chance at 6. So the set batsman Banke hit hard, and hit 6 now. So the score now is 141 for 2 after 18.2 overs. So run rate is now, the current run rate is 7.7, and that is shooting up. So
I think we are looking at
would like to have more and more score
exactly,
on the board.
And we're looking at really good energy levels. And Banke has been there from 52 deliveries, and he still has the energy to hit 6. And that thing again, he goes on for another one. That's a good catch. Okay, a bit of
Who's
mix-up
this?
over there.
Oh, this is no ball. So,
Oh, so that's another free hit.
and Banke has got a life now.
That
So
was
it's
a
a good
very good
very
catch,
good
though.
catch.
Looking at the ball at the very last minute, keeping the eye on the ball, taking the catch with soft hands. And these kids seem to be technically very strong. So Banke still has a life. He's 62.
He's on 62. So Kumar is balling, and he's on third ball.
So he's given away 19 runs so far. And he's currently bowling his second over. A bit pricey over there.
So Banke is facing Kumar.
Kumar goes back to bowl the ball again.
It's a free hit.
I think that has been well managed.
Cancer
Oh,
6.
and that's a 6. A mistake made by the fielder, costing 6 runs. And Banke seems to be really brave, going for the free hit, capitalizing the best opportunity over there for additional 6 runs.
Then KRCA has reached
150
150
already
after
before they have
2.
reached 20 overs. I think that's pretty much really impressive. And Banke is on 68
So
on
that-
just 54 deliveries.
Right. And I hope that the device target the captain or the team management will have in their mind is 180. 20 runs out of.
He goes on
120.
again for another big shot. Oh, and that's a wicket.
That's a wicket.
It was a good shot though, but finding the fielder over there in the mid-on region.
So Banke is out. He's out on 68.
But I think he has done the job well though.
he has
Sumit.
done the job well, but the team would like to have him on the field because he's a set batsman.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 new batsmen who will be on the field, and
But I think he has done a great job because he's taken KRCA to 150 already in 18.4 overs. So the management will be really happy with this kid. And if KRCA would score more runs, that will just add up to the total. Because 150 in a 20 overs game is actually a good total, I would say.
it's a very good score. Now Amrit Das is on the crease, and Gray will be facing Kumar now.
Okay, that was edged. There's no slip over there.
So 1 run to Gray. Now the new batsman Amrit Das is on strike.
And I think even if they take singles over here, they can still manage to get 155, just possibly 160. And that's
It's a
a
good
shot
shot.
played possibly for a catch, but that lands
man's
safe
land.
between the fielders. A chance of a run out. And the wicketkeeper plays. That was a half-hearted appeal over there. The batsman seems to be a bit injured over there. I think that was a
Right,
really good dive though.
An umpire is not convinced, so he's safe.
Let's see what happened there. Oh, that was a really good dive. Of course, the ground is a bit rough, obviously, because of some rain and some dew over there.
So I think the over is up. So after 19 overs, KRCA is on 152 after the loss of 4 wickets. I think the umpire has given him out. Yes, a new batsman is coming up, the Kareem.
Yes, I think maybe because the bat was still in the air, even though that was a very good dive. And of course, the umpire's decision is the right decision. It will be. So we have Kareem onto the pitch now with Gray. Gray hasn't got, he hasn't faced a lot of balls yet, so he has a job to do facing the last over of the innings. And if he can manage even 8 runs and getting 160, will be a very good
That
psychological
would be a good
advantage.
score,
Yeah.
but since they lost both the set batsmen, definitely.
So this is what Gray is trying. That was a missed time shot, and another wicket falls down.
So Gray is out on 3.
The ball didn't. It wasn't middle from the back and from the bat, and I think
And
they just ran the run.
and the KRC is losing wicket at a very regular interval. In
But
a short
yeah.
time, they have lost 3 wickets.
But I think this is what they're trying to do. That they have the last over, they have the wickets in hand. They just wanted to go for some additional runs. But
But they
if they
really
could
have
have
to
been
pull
really wise, I think even the simple strike rotation would have given them maybe a couple of more 5-6 runs. So Patel is bowling the last over.
And the new batsman is Mohammad. So Patel will be bowling his second ball. And the Kareem will be facing him.
Okay, that has been worked away towards the mid-off region. Possibly that was racing towards the boundary. Well managed by the fielder over there, stopping the possible boundary.
And they have taken 2 runs. So the score is now 154 for 5 after 19.2 overs.
So the current run rate is 8 runs per over. This is what Ontario Reds will need to keep in mind. And they will need to come with a lot of great intent to chase this total. That could potentially be more than 154 right now. That was a loose ball. Just edged towards the mid-on region. Another misfield over there.
And they have completed 2 runs. So 2 more runs to KRCA. 3 balls left and they are on 156 for 5.
I think KRCA will try their best to reach 160, which will be really good for their own team.
So Patel will be bowling his 4th ball. And Kareem tried hard to...
I think Kareem was trying to work that away towards the mid-wicket region, totally misreading the delivery. Again, going in a similar fashion, and his head is still high, not managing to come near the ball. But luckily just edging it away and giving the strike back to Mohammad.
So Mohammad will face his first ball. And again, this is the last ball of the inning. The score is 156 for 5. And the last ball to Mohammad.
So that has been worked away towards the point side for another single run. And that gives our KRCA 158, 2 short of 160 for the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs.
And the target for Ontario Red is 159.
I think they have done a really great job, KRCA. We'll just have to see how Ontario Reds come in with the strategy to defend that total. So the run rate KRCA have put up is 7.9, and this is what Ontario Reds will need to keep that in mind from the very first over, I would say, Sumit, because last time we saw that KRCA had put pressure on Ontario Greens, and the first couple of overs that were maiden, that made a huge difference, and that just pressurized the team, and
the run rate shoots up very fast.
Exactly, and they just end up losing wickets.
So at this point in time also they need 8 runs per over.
Yeah. Okay, so here we have KRCA's batting chart. So Mahas, he lost his wicket on just 9 runs. Whereas Banke, he contributed 68 of just 55 deliveries. Augis played his big role, who scored 61 on just 46 balls, with Gray being run out on just 3 runs. And Das, Kareem, and Mohammad just scoring 1, 4, and 1. And we can see the top order played an instrumental role, and this is where we have Ontario Reds bowling chart. The most expensive bowler being Kumar for giving an economy rate of 13.5 in 2 overs, and that's like 27 runs. Hamza giving away 11 runs per over, 2 overs bowled. And the most decent economy rate is of Singh, who gave away 17 runs in 4 overs and taking away 1 wicket.
1 wicket. So only 3 bowlers who got success is Singh, Kumar, and Gibson, who took 1 wicket each.
So there weren't many wickets over there. So we'll be back in a short while and see how Ontario Reds chase up 159 scored by KRCA.
Welcome back to the Broward County Stadium. We are here to begin the second innings, the reply when Ontario Reds, who are, by the way, the defending champions, they won the championship last year, and it's good that they are here to defend their championship. And so far, they have done well. They have kept KRCA 158 for 5 or for 6. But they have at the end of 20 overs, so they are about to commence their reply. So I'm Audley Watson. With me here once again is Ian Thomas. Ian.
Yes, so I must say very welcome to all our viewers who are out there watching on MAQTV Live, and to our Facebook fans who are watching and sharing at the same time. You guys have been with us for over the past 5 days, and we have had some lovely cricket here at the Broward Regional Stadium. We had seen where the Somerset Cavaliers had took the championship in the senior division, and now we are seeing the youths, the under 17, and what a game that we have going on here. We have the Ontario Reds that is facing no other than the KRCA, who have put up a very good total. So they'll be going out and trying to defend this to the best of their ability. The sun is back out. Earlier it was overcast. The cloud was very heavy. At one point we were worried that we may have some rain, but then, in just a minute it was all gone. So we're looking forward for a good afternoon of cricket here. So we're just going to see what the Ontario Reds have in terms of their chasing. So good cricket here at the Broward Regional Stadium. And we have our 2 batsmen walking out to the middle.
Yes, and we are so fortunate. Right now we're having bright sunshine. And I was real worried there, Ian, for...
You come after 5, then Audley and Shah, because that is Shah team, so he will have the back up. So after 5 overs, you will come with Pizza. Right? 5? 1 to 5.
Yes, so welcome into the box, Mr. Shaw Faisal.
No, I think that's somewhere else.
Okay.
He's away on vacation somewhere.
Let him introduce himself.
Yeah, so I'm Shah Zafar.
Okay, I know some Shaw.
Yes. We have been. Yeah. Thank you for welcoming the to the commentary box. I think my home team, Ontario Reds, is on the batting side now, and they're chasing 159, made by Kumar Rampart Cricket Academy.
KRCA, as they are called.
KRCA, yeah. And I really love the batting for those 2 openers. So Josh Shaw is on a strike, I think. Yeah, Josh Shaw is on a strike, and the first ball played it straight back to the bowler on the onside.
Yes, you explain, but I understand that you have some vested interest in one of these teams. It's your home from your era, Ontario?
Yes.
Ontario Reds.
Yeah, and this is these guys are from my program, our Cricket Ontario program. Cricket Ontario program usually runs from April to January to April every year, and these are the one there. We are the players that we are grooming for the hopeful for the next World Cup.
So we have to say congratulations to you, because they won the championship last year, and they're here definitely defending their championship this year. And no doubt they'll be gunning to make it 2 from 2.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And I think they do have a talentful on the team, and they have talentful team on the team to do that. Target is very competitive, and TND is probably trying to stop them from becoming a second-time champion.
Is there any standout on the side? Any names you'd like to call, since you are very familiar with the team?
I think our top order is very strong. This year we tried to brought the team with the concept that we want to develop these players in the next 2 years for the World Cup, and we have a balanced 6 batsmen, 6 bowler. So that's how we brought it in. And these 2 batsmen, they're playing Sahil Badin and Josh Shaw. They are openers. They're both very talented batsmen, and we have another 4 batsmen in the lineup. I think Ethan Gibson is the one that I have a high hope from. If he stand up, he can rack up runs pretty fast. But Josh is a steady batsman. I think he's going to.
Oh, good, great. Oh, that ball was hit down to the mid-wicket area. And it's 2. So we are in the first, at least at the end of over number 1, it's 6 without loss at the end of over number 1. Ontario batting, the defending champions.
Yeah, Ontario Reds. Haminshu, which is Josh, is on 4, and Sahil is on 2.
And the target is only a small matter of 159.
Yep, it is 150. This is a very challenging target. I don't think I can take that easy, and Ontario should not take it easy that we're going to make it. But it's a very competitive target, and I just hope that they have a full talented players there that they are capable of reaching that target, and hopefully if they play with sensible cricket, they will make it. But on the other hand, TNT bowling is pretty strong as well, so competition is tough and pretty balanced.
And of course, being the chasing team, they will know exactly what rate, when they need to up the rate, or when they need to just take it easy.
Yes. There's a one cut from the Josh down to the point, and
scores 8 without loss. We are in over number 2, and batting Ontario Red. KRCA, they are in the field and they are defending stoutly. Of course, at the end of over number 20, they'll be hoping that the Ontario Red teams is still nowhere close to their 158. That's a dot ball into the books, but still early, nothing to panic about. There's still all 10 wickets intact. Yes, that one was cracked through the covers and they're chasing 1 and 2. Will there be a third? No, he'll not challenge the arm of a fielder out there. So it's another 2 to the total.
yeah, I think Josh has just found the gap. There were 2 fielder run for it, and I think they both missed the ball. So I would say there was a little bit of a misfielding that giving them to chase for the second run.
And we're in the power play. First 6 overs in a 2020 match is the power play, and that one was driven away down to the boundary for 4 runs. No doubt about that one. The fielder, the only thing he had to do was just run to retrieve the ball because he was beaten all the way.
Yeah, that was a Sahil Badin who just hit the boundary down to the mid-off, going through between mid-off and extra cover.
It's 14 without lost. Over number 2. That one was left alone, and a golden dot ball. They'll have to try and keep the scoreboard ticking over. And that one, the fielder would just definitely go to retrieve the ball once again. It's 4 runs.
Yeah,
down to
Sahil took the full advantage of the loose ball. It was a over pitch ball, and he just find the right, to the mid wicket, and he just punch it down there for 4. So Sahil is doing pretty well. Eight ball for 14 runs, and Josh is on 4 for 4, and
So-
18 for 2 after 2. 18 for no loss after 2.
18 for no loss. Okay, and one feature of the first innings was the running between the wicket of KRCA. And at times they were, boundary were not flowing, but they were running the 2s and the 1s, and the score just kept ticking away. And eventually, when it was time, they were going over the boundary as well as hitting some 4s. So this is what Ontario Red will have to do, is to keep on taking those 1s and turn the 1s into 2s. That running between the wickets is going to be very important if they're going to defend their championship.
Absolutely. I think there's no question about it. The KRCA has done fantastic job in creating runs with single to doubles, and they were successfully doing so, and Ontario has to do the same. But right now, I think they are going pretty good for the run rate stuff. It's only too early to say. It's 19 for no loss, and but the weather seems to come out very nicely. I think we went through some shower, and after shower, a little bit of a passing shower, and now it was a bright and sunny day, right?
And we're so happy that it was just a passing shower. We have had our fair share of the rain over the past 5 days. So the rains, I think it came and stayed for about a minute and a half.
Yes.
And fortunately left us. And now we're having some sunshine, and we're having wonderful cricket being played.
Absolutely. I think it's a fantastic that CCUSA is trying to create a new platform for the youth development, and this is one of the future signature tournament for the youth, that U.S. Open Youth Tournament, Youth Cup. And there are team from Trinidad and Canada are here, under 17, and same as under 15. And hopefully next year there are a lot more interest for people to bring their teams in. There's a team from Ghana as well. And for our cold countries, winter time, wherever we find cricket, we want to go and play cricket. So we'd like to thank the MAQTV and the CCUSA for initiating and creating the new platform for youth development. And hopefully future, this tournament will probably be its own tournament and its own signature and its own brand.
And speaking of platform, we know that players who have played here have gone on to represent the West Indies. For instance, young Mamshan, he represent the West Indies. Was it in the under 17 or under 15? So this is indeed a platform, a springboard for young and budding players to come and exhibit their talents, and then going on. Oh, that was a beautiful catch. The batter went back and cracked it out and got that ball out in the cover, but it was beautifully picked up by the fielder out there. I'm not quite sure the number is, but it was a very good catch.
Definitely a beautiful catch at the extra cover. Sahil Badin just found the ball, and he just wanted to punch it through the gap, but didn't find the gap, and there was a player down at the extra cover and grab a good catch. I was saying, you talk about the platform. This platform of US Open has produced some great, or attracted and produced some great players for the seniors, right? And same thing is happened as junior. Last year, Ontario team came up here, and 6 players from that team has going to play the World Cup this year. So people are getting opportunity. Players are getting opportunity. It's just that how each country's or each province or each team development program works. So Cricket Council Ontario cannot, develop players for their skill set, which we do every year, but they can provided a platform where they can compete and then learn and develop the game. competitions.
Right, good to have you here to disseminate all this information, because a lot of us really don't know about all that was going on, but we are aware that this is the platform for many players to go on to play international cricket. For instance, we have Ali Khan, who earlier this month playing in one of those leagues. I don't know if it was don't remember if it was T10 or T20 leagues, but he bowled a penultimate over. Yes, a T10 league could be. I just forget, somewhere over there in the Middle East.
I think he played the CPL and then he went to Doha in a Qatar.
Yeah,
league,
Qatar. Yeah,
and then
right.
he has been drafted into the PSL.
Right.
Also, so he is on the rise, from the U.S. and he is the brand ambassador of the CCUSA. And I say, watch these players playing for Ontario, especially in this tournament. Right, all the 11 players that we are a very young team, right, and we brought this team here for development for 2-year program. I can bet that out of these 11 players that we brought in, 7 or 8 going to make the national team. So only because they are going to play the winter cricket here or somewhere else, but here, this platform, and the competition is going to go better and better every year.
Right, and just to go back to Ali Khan a bit, he bowled that penultimate over number 9, and he had a double wicket maiden. It was a double wicket maiden indeed.
Yes. Perfect.
And just to continue a little more with the platform, I mean, playing here, they are being exposed not just nationally, but they are on the international scene. MAQTV is being seen all over the world. And to play on such a big scene, I mean, they're playing on the only recognized stadium, by the ICC in the entire United States. And this is where they are playing their cricket today. So talk about exposure.
Yeah, exposure, definitely. Their kids are all they pumped up for this tournament, and especially for this game. And you see, when they are in the field of the international level, their presence, their approach, their presentation is all up to that level. I think this is a learning experience for all these guys, that when you play a high competitive game, you have to show the competitiveness, and you have to present yourself in the same manner. So right now is after 3 overs, 23 for 1. Ramanveer Dhaliwal is the next batsman. He's a left-hand batsman, wicket-keeper, and Josh is a right-hand batsman. This ball is wide, and they were going to capitalize on the misfield, and there's a 2 wide.
Yeah, that was very good running. They made use of the opportunity. They completed that single, and of course, being the wide, 2 addition to the score. That's moved on to 25 for 1, and we are in over number 4. Still 2 overs in the power play after the end of over number 4. Oh, that one, is he bold? Yeah, he is bold. So wicket number 2 is down. Wicket number 2, 25 for 2 after 3 overs. And I think 2 ball, but we're definitely in the 4th over. So I think they just need to do a little consolidating now. Although we are in the power play, you don't want to be losing too much wickets early in this innings, because you need to be able to accelerate when it's a little lower and later in the innings, right? Then you can go buccaneering.
Absolutely. I think Ramanveer was a little bit slow up to getting to the ball, and is late coming in, and he didn't. I think left-hander to the left-hander coming around and is bowling to inside to him. It's very tough to play. But well, we have another left-hander. This is Arjuna Suku, who's the captain of the team, and hopefully he will try to stabilize the inning. He's only 3 overs gone.
Right, the captain will have to do that because we don't want to find, you know, that song, Captain, the ship is sinking. We know that the captain have to stabilize the ship.
Yes.
Very good feeling there. The ball was stroked back to the bowler, but he went across on the leg side. That ball would be running towards long on, but he prevented what would be a certain 1 or 2. And that was again played correctly down to the bowler. I guess Suku is trying to steady the ship first before he unleash.
Yeah, I think he has to steady a little bit. There's a new, as a left-hand bowler, which gives normally trouble to everybody, not just a left-hand or right-hand batsman. But so he's trying to read the ball. 2 wickets are gone, so there's a lot of pressure on him as well.
But funny, I bowl left-handed, and I never love bowling to a left-handed batsman. Because I bowl leg spin, and which would be maybe bothersome to a right-hander, which end up just coming in, to the left-hander.
Yes. So after 4 overs, it's 26 for 2. And Ontario is chasing target of 159.
So Ontario will have to start doing something here. They are chasing, as I've said, we don't know what. Okay, they are chasing, so they know exactly what they are doing. It's going to be touch and go after over number 6. It will be the end of the power play. Let's see where they will be at the end of the power play. Now they should be taking the opportunity to get the ball out of the 30-yard circle, because only 2 fielders can be placed outside the 30-yard circles.
Yeah, this is the last play of loss of the power play. Over. Oh, 4.1, so yeah, 6 overs. So there's 2 more overs to go, and let's see how is
umpire signal no ball, and this is going to be a free hit.
How come the fielding changed? Did they make a run?
And indeed,
successfully 2 runs.
2 runs. He tried his arms, of course, towards long on. But I must remind you that the field is wet. Still sound not, but it's heavy weather there. So when the ball, whenever it falls, it's not rolling a whole lot.
Good shot by Arjuna to single to the mid-on between bowler and the wicket.
So the score has moved slowly along to 30-2. Just in the wicket column, they're not, I would say, desperate. But the fact that they have lost 2 wickets, I think they are more watchful.
I think they played a little bit of a steady inning for not missing a single and doubles. 4 will come itself, boundaries will come, but right now they're like loose ball. The single and double should not be missed.
This one, they run a second this time. The score has moved on to 32-2. We are in over number 5. The target is 159. They're going at a run rate of 7.1. The present run rate is 8.2.
Josh tried to punch it down to the leg side, but he was not successfully doing that. There was a fielder down into the short mid wicket.
Correction there, the required run rate is 8.3 and the current run rate is 6.9.
It's going to the offside, and Josh just pushed it down to the extra cover, and he just got a single. Score is trickling to 33 for 2.
Now we have the left-right combination, so the fielders are getting their exercise, running from one side to the other when they make a single.
Yes, they're going to be quite a lengthy combination left-right, because there's another lefty sitting in the pavilion right now. There was a misfield down to the gully, and Arjuna was able to take 2 out of it.
So we have come up to over number 5, and at the end of over number 5, the strike rate, current strike rate is 7 per over. Required run rate is 8.3. It's 35 for 2 after 5.
Switching the shift.
And it's going to be a change. Mr. Ian Thomas will be coming in along with.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Fisa, we are back, and it's interesting in terms of the chase here by Ontario Reds, who are 35 for 2 after 5 overs. KRCA seems to be putting on the pressure. 2 early wickets, and the run rate is now 7 per over, and a required run rate of 8.3 per over.
Yes, I think KRCA are doing a great job with the bowling and fielding. And Ontario Reds have lost their 2 early wickets, but I think they still have a chance to come back from the crisis, because the current run rate is 7 and the required run rate is 8.3. So it will be better if there is no wider gap now in the upcoming overs.
Yes, there's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of cricket to be played here, so it's good cricket.
Yeah, that's a great shot towards the covers and racing towards the boundary. That's 4 runs, a much needed boundary, right, Twinner?
Definitely. And that one pushed the tally up to 39 for 2.
So this is what we need. I think they need to play the shots. We have Sukhu and Himanshu on the pitch, and they just need to settle in and possibly create a good partnership, because losing a wicket now might shake the whole team, and this is what they don't need right now.
Definitely, we would like to see a good partnership here. We have seen that in the first innings by the KRCA batsman, between Banky there, that was a good partnership. Both batsmen had 50 to their name, so they'll definitely need a good partnership to stabilize this innings here.
And the last ball we saw, it was worked finally towards the point, but there was a bit mix-up between the fielders. The fielding has been really good by KRC as well. I think they are good in containing overthrows, and this is what matters in the short format of the game.
Yes, definitely. We have even seen a catch there that, at one point I thought that was going into the boundary like a rocket.
Exactly.
But then, it was given out. It was a very good catch there by the fielder. So they're doing pretty well. The bowling is spot on, and they're defending their bowlers.
Yeah, I think they seem to be really sharp. And this is Gainda bowling. That was a pretty tight ball. Worked away for a single by Sukhu.
So looking at Suku and Josh, they're batting together here, and this partnership could be vital for the Ontario Reds.
Yes, I think they just need to capitalize on all the opportunities they get and keep it pretty simple, I would say, because the rotation of strike disturbs any bowler. But if they have a loss of wicket, this is something they wouldn't want, and maybe they can play low-risk shots. So this has been worked away towards the mid-on region for another single.
Yes, and the running between the wicket, as we said earlier, by KRCA between Agis and Banke was pretty good. They were able to rotate the strike, they were able to pierce the field, and they were also able to find the boundary. But we saw good communication between those two batsmen there earlier in their innings.
I think there was a lot of trust and clear decision making between them, and this is what matters a lot between the batters. If they have the clear intention and they can make really good decision on the spot. So that has been worked away towards the for the cut shot, and that seemed a bit dangerous for the non-striker to reach at the strike end, but managed to get there safely.
Yes, so the run in here between these two is looking pretty good between Josh and Suku. So pretty good going here. That one again was played just into cover, and they were able to go through for a quick single. So they're taking the single. These two, they're turning over the strike. So good batting.
Yes, in 6 overs, they have 43 for the loss of 2 wickets, and they just need to be stable at this position. We have Suho and Himanshu on this pitch, and I am sure if they can just keep going like this, we might have an interesting match going on till the end overs, because they have 84 balls and above 100 runs to reach the target of 159.
Yes, at this point, with the required run rate of 8.3, I think if they stay at the wicket, then they should be able to really catch on to this run rate as they're going currently at 7.2. It's still a long way to go in this game. It's still 14 overs to be bowled, target 159. It is definitely not outside of their reach, but they just need these two batsmen to bat themselves in and pace the game, and we'll have a very good finish here. So whichever team win, then we'd say it's good cricket, because we have really seen some wonderful cricket here at the Broward Stadium.
Yes, I think one of the main challenges in, especially in batting department, is that when you're not able to play your own game, because of course you have to adjust according to the situation, and this is where we get to have really skillful batsmen that come up, because you have to adapt to the situation. If you're someone who is used to maybe hitting the ball all over, but the situation demands rotation or strike, keeping it simple, just to create a partnership, I think that's a test of nerves.
Yes, definitely. So the mindset of the batsman.
That was a great ball. Yes,
definitely well bowled ball there that leave the batsman, and well taken by the keeper, and lucky for the batsman, he was inside of his crease, or else he could have been stumped there. That was very quick footwork and handwork by the keeper behind there. So, good cricket being displayed by these youngsters here.
And Das is keeping the ball and shaping it outside of with the left-hander. This was a bit inside, worked away towards the leg side for another single to the total.
And again, we see from the fielders that they're doing pretty well. So even though it's not a run out, they're able to hit the wicket from a distance. So pretty good feeling here by the KRCA, and they seem to be enjoying the game also. A lot of smiles out there from these youngsters, and that's something that is good to see. The way they're playing the cricket, they're pretty much disciplined in the field, and the running between the wicket being amazing.
Yes, I think this is why cricket is known to be a team sport, because when you're bowling, and if you're supported by the fielders in a very nice way, it just boosts your confidence and you can trust your own plan. But if the fielding is a bit lousy, it doesn't really work away.
And Josh seemed to get this one backward of square there, and he'll get a quick single there. Did they go through?
Dot balls is something they wouldn't need right now, because that will just build up pressure.
So good decision there by the batsman, and Das is bowling pretty good at this point.
So that has been worked finely towards the onside, potentially for a boundary, but well saved by the fielder, putting up a good barrier to block the ball, racing towards the boundary.
Yes, good hit there by Josh, through the mid-wicket area. It ran quickly down to the fielder on the mid-wicket boundary. They were only able to get a single, which early looked like they could have gotten 2, but very good fielding here.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're looking at really good fielding, because even the backup fielders, they're supporting the fielders, and this is where the overthrows are also saved. That's a wide ball.
Yeah, that seemed to get a little carried away there. He pitched that one way down the leg side and give the umpire no problem in calling a wide there. So another extra to the total, which is 46 for 2 after 6.4 overs.
And that's another dot ball, and I think KRCA just need to keep it simple, like they exhibited the bowling display yesterday. There was no answer against that, and we can see now their current run rate is 6.7.
Yes, so with every dot ball, then the run rate is climbing up, and you'll be surprised, with a maiden over, that run rate could change drastically.
Yes, and that's the challenge the short format of game brings in. Oh, that's another misfield over there. And chance of a run out.
Definitely, it's a run out there. So I tell you about this KRCA feeling, even the batsmen, they're afraid because they attempted the runs. They weren't certain about it in terms of the fielder. Got to the ball quickly, even though he missed field at first, but he was still able to retrieve the ball and still have a run out right there. So look at this.
That
went through with the on drive.
Yeah, that was hit hardly.
Fielder missed field. They had a mix up in terms of the running. He picked it up. He throwed at the keeper, and that was well done by the keeper there. And the batsman had no chance of getting back.
And I think the first time if the non-striker was going to run, they still could have managed it. But those 2 seconds that they wasted, looking at the fielder, I think that would make the major difference, and they've lost another wicket.
So that's the difference here between these two teams. We realize, with the KRCA, when they were batting, they were on in terms of the communication between both batsmen.
Yes.
But here we see that these batsmen, they are not communicating well. As a result, they are hesitant in taking the single, and just that 1 second in terms of thinking, do I go or do I turn back? We realize cost them a wicket right here.
And I think this is where you need the clarity of the plan. Like if you have decided, okay, we're gonna, take the singles that whichever come our way. If I say yes, you just run away. I think this is where you need this kind of communication. Just play a couple of balls, go to the non-striker, and just have a word with each other. That always helps.
Yes, definitely. You have to have trust between your partner at the wicket. You gotta trust him when he say 1. You gotta trust him to know that there's 1, and you just need to run through for that 1.
So we're Ganda back into the bowling attack, and that has been worked away towards the mid-on for a single.
Yes, so quick single here, and it's a new batsman who is in, is Gibson, who is in, and it's 47 for 3 after 7.1 over, and the target here is 159 to be made in 20 overs. So at this point, I'll say that the entire Reds would be in a little bother in terms of the runs versus the wickets here. They're still able to pull through, but somebody need to stay at the wicket.
Yes, because they have 77 balls left in the innings, and they have to win. They need to score 112 more runs. So this is where they'll need to get going and avoid these dot balls.
Yes, so one of these batsmen gotta take charge, and if it should be anyone, I'd say Josh would be the man, because he's 17 from 16. Obviously, he's seen the ball, and he's been there for a while. So Gibson is a new batsman at the crease. So let's see how they decide to take this.
And that has been worked away towards the offside. Gainda is trying to keep the ball really good, and he's bowling towards where the field setting has been placed. And I think this is a great sign for any bowler. You are in a commanding position when you're keeping the bowling line. You have a control over the ball, and your field setting is also according to the plan. And this is where the team can be more confident and can trust you when you're bowling.
And that's a stroke down to the long off area, and they should get 1 comfortable here. But good bowling here by the bowler, and as you mentioned, the feeling, there's correct field setting, they have fielders in the right position. They're stopping all those singles that they would normally be going through for, and they're creating doubt in the batsman's mind, and that is something good when you're in the field. If you create doubt, then that simply means you may just get a run out.
Yeah, I think manipulating the batsman is one key where you can easily get run outs. That has been worked away towards the cover side, in fact the point side, and the the keeper couldn't manage to get the ball, but not costing any extra run.
So, it's good cricket here, and it's good to see the youngsters playing at this level. They seem to know the game pretty well, and they're applying themselves on the day at the wicket. I really love the KRCA, the way they have been playing. We saw them yesterday afternoon against the Ontario Green, and they actually take full control of that game, both in the batting and the bowling department, and they basically bring the same game here today. They're in control of this one.
And I think that shows a lot of consistency when it comes to thinking and execution of skills. And this is something which is instrumental when it comes to gaining success as a team in any tournament. And like the Pakistani team is really famous for being inconsistent. It just adds some unpredictability, to be honest, to the opponents that, okay, what is this team going to produce today? But if you're consistent with your plans and execution, I think it always works for you.
Yes, definitely. No matter what in life, if you have a plan to be working off, then definitely you will be able to, analyze the goal, where you're at, and where you're going. And with this, it's no different with cricket. They know the target that they have put on the board. They know exactly how much runs is required per over, and each bowler will keep that in mind as they walk up to the wicket. So at this point, they would be, say, very mean in terms of the runs. They're trying to dry up all those runs for the Ontario Reds, and definitely putting them under pressure here.
Yes, and I think with the current field setting, we don't see any slip over there, so maybe they have a different plan over there.
Yes, so normally we see the slips normally come into play when we have a pace bowler running in and tearing away, normally hitting the edge very hard. But here they realize that the spinners, they're pitching on par, and they're just willing to just push forward, and they think they're able to defend with just having people on the circle. And that's a good hit there, down to long off, and here comes a fielder around, and they're able to get a quick single, but nothing more than the single.
Yeah, I think that was a well executed shot, having less power, I would say. If it had more power, they could have managed to get more runs. But great, these batsmen seem to be technically strong. All that is needed is clear decision making over here and not lose potentially another wicket.
Yes, these two batsmen need to establish a partnership, and we see how important partnership is. We saw that between Auguste and Banke. They made over 100 partnership, and that's what had seated them in such a good position here.
And that was worked away with a punch towards the mid-wicket region, managing another one. I think this is the thing. If KRCA does not allow these batsmen to play the shots in the gaps and just straight to the fielders, that will just put more pressure onto them, and they'll be looking at the current run rate and the required run rate, just not allowing them to play in the gaps.
So we see that one being heaved over mid-wicket, way down to the boundary, and the batsman, they did not even attempt the second run. So right away you realize that's how much pressure KRCA had built up here in terms of even the batsman taking the single. They are not willing to turn for the second run. As you can see, they have developed some form of anxiety, or something is going on out there in terms of uncertainty.
Yes, I think now they have a bit of cautious approach right now. But this is where they need to break this and have a more brave approach and take the calculated risk of converting these ones into twos to put the pressure back onto KRCA fielders. That was Das gave a much of a width, and that was just edged for behind the keeper for 1 run.
Yeah, so that Josh gets another single, not a convincing shot. It took the under edge, beat the keeper also. He managed to scramble through for a single, and the total goes up to 54 for 3, and we are in over number 9, so as we can see, the run rate is creeping up, so I don't think they'll be able to do this in singles. We need some boundaries here.
Okay, that's a big wide over there by Das.
And I'm wondering if that have to do with the fact that the outfield is a little wet, because you see Das, he's drying the ball with a little rag there.
Yeah.
So, that may be a part of it. He's not able to grip the ball that well. And
I think that's the challenge when the ball is going on in a wet outfield. It's hard to grip it properly, and for spinners, then it just keeps on tossing up. That's what we just saw with that white. So that was worked away towards the covers for another single.
yeah, so as you can see, that was a better ball in finishing his over after he had dried it. So for our fans and our viewers out there, if you did not know, we had heavy rain overnight last night, even into this morning. So the outfield is pretty wet. We also had a late start, and that's one of the reasons why, we may see that wide before. He did not have full control in terms of the ball. You think about the friction which allow you to grip and turn that ball, and actually it seems like the ball had just slid out of his hand.
Exactly. I mean, it just slipped out of his hands, and we saw the wide over there. But he has managed pretty well in the end. This is something really impressive about this team. They just manage any situation that comes in. It's not that they're not making mistakes, but they're learning from their mistakes at a better rate as compared to other teams in the tournament, which is the main reason they're now in the final.
Yes, they have played some good cricket, and that's what brought them to the finals here today. They have really operated as a unit, and with that, we can see definitely that these will be future stars. They actually know the game pretty well. We can see they're out there and they're basically executing what they have been taught. So they have a very good coaching staff, their management team, and it's been displayed on the field, and they look the better of the two teams at this point.
Yes, I think there are a lot of factors that play an instrumental role in the execution of the players. So the batsman mistiming that ball completely, but the ball managing it well. Again, there's no attempt of taking that single, or even trying to confuse the bowler that they're going to take a single.
That tells me that there's some nervousness going on in terms of the mind of these two batsmen that's at the wicket. And at this point, I think they definitely need to get their confidence back and start playing some positive shot, that would get them some runs. As I say before, the singles not going to do it. And right as we see Mohammed, he comes in as a new bowler, but he's doing pretty well. It's 2 balls and no runs.
Yes, but the challenge here for the batsman will be to find those gaps. Like we are looking at, they're playing good shots, but finding the fielders. This has been worked away to the onside for another single, but they need more than singles over here to come back strongly into the game, because we're already halfway into the innings, 9.3, and we have 57 runs for the loss of 3 wickets already.
Yes, Fisa. So we can see clearly the difference between both teams here. And earlier, when the KRCA was batting, they were able to find the gaps in the field. They were able to turn over the strike. They were getting the singles, and at the same time, they were finding the boundaries, and they were also hitting sixes.
Yes, I think this is where they need smart batting, because it's a combination of coaching and the players themselves, if they have that kind of skill set to be able to learn the just analyze the situation and find those gaps somehow. And I think this is where Himanshu is trying to play a risky shot over there, playing across the line towards the onside. And they are in a bit of a desperate position right now, looking for a boundary to overcome that pressure again.
Yes, I believe the pressure is now on Josh to actually take charge, because he been the batsman who's been there for a while. He's been in, he's seen the bowling, and he's 21 from 21. So if someone should take charge, I know the captain will be saying, it's you at this point, because you are the senior of the 2 batsmen at the wicket in terms of the time being spent at the wicket. So Josh need to start, I think, using their feet more, because we see earlier where the KRCA, their batsmen were using their feet against the spinners. With these 2 batsmen at the wicket.
That was a close chance for a run out, but the batsmen are safe. And these are the risks that they will need to
And
take
I
at this
think-
stage.
I think the umpire giving him out. Everybody's running. What's going on?
Let's have a replay.
We love to see the replay here. There's the pickup. So he was safely in. So that was another tight single, and that just show you the pressure that's been put on here by KRCA, you know, in basically every single ball being hit in the field. You know, they are approaching the ball very quick, and they're getting the throw in, and the throws, they are spot on. So we can see why Ontario Reds would be a little nervous. They're doing exceptionally well in the field in terms of KRCA.
I think from a similar situation, I can recall a match between India and England, where we had Virat Kohli and Dhoni, and they ran these unbelievable singles. Those sprints were amazing, because we know that England is a great team. The fielders are really good, and that kind of innovativeness into the batting, it helped India win. So cricket now is more challenging, I would say. You need to come up with new ways according to the situation, and this is where such a situation is challenging for Ontario Reds.
Definitely, because Ontario Reds, they're not getting the boundaries. So if they're going to get runs, they got to find the gap and get at least the singles, because they need right now over 10 per over. So at least a run a ball, and they'll still need a boundary there. So they need to do something different. If they're going to continue batting like this, then actually KRCA would just basically walk home with this championship this afternoon. So somebody have to change their game or their style of batting as we speak here.
Yeah, I think Das is tossing up the ball. It's a bit of a challenge, pitching the ball onto the right spot.
So we are approaching the 11th over, and we are going to have a change in the commentary. And this one is a long heave all the way over, and it's a good catch down there on the boundary. And the Ontario Reds are in deep trouble. They are now 60 for 4. What a catch, way on the boundary there. And another batsman is out. So trouble here, and we'll just introduce Mr. Ardley into the commentary box.
Thank you, Ian. Beautiful catch down there. Welcome for the first time together.
Yes, it's great to have you in the commentary box.
So this is what they talk about, Beauty and the Beast.
If you say so. No, it's lovely to have you. What do you think about the current match so far?
I think it's a good match, but if the Ontario Reds are going to have any chance of defending their title, they will have to step it up big time. They have to lift that run rate. The current run rate is 5.6, and the required run rate is 10.6. So you can see there's a vast difference in between there. So I think the signs of aggression is too few and far in between.
Yeah.
And because they have locked themselves down, so to speak, now when they're trying to open up, you find that they are finding fielders down on the boundary. So it's going to be pretty steep. It's a steep hill to climb. It's difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
They need 99 runs from 56 balls. It's not impossible. So let's just time will tell. But
Definitely, yeah. That was also tossed up again. We can see that the ball is not gripping up well, and that was worked away towards the mid wicket. And the last wicket we saw, the batsman tried to play a shot and risk it, but finding the fielder again. It means that they don't really seem to have the answer to find the gaps. And of course, there's excellent field positioning by KRCA.
Exactly. Credit should be given to the captain for placing the fielders in the right place. And of course, it's the end of a power play, so more players to his disposal, and exactly he's using them the way they ought to be used. Once again, I would rather to be in the position of the fielding team.
So that's a wide ball, ball by Das. who has been tossing up the couple of balls previously, but is being supported by the fielders.
Yes, wide was called by umpire Bally Ramnaris, out of Trinidad.
Well, that was a great ball coming into the batsman. And I think that has been given out.
Trying to figure out what's happening. Well, we may be seeing a replay here.
The batsman seems to be confused as to what happened over there because he just played the ball and was clueless with the reaction of the other fielders.
Yes, but however he's walking towards us reluctantly, I'm just trying to figure out like, hey, what happened here?
Well, yeah, I think we can see clearly that there was no bat touching the ball at all, and the ball just went straight to the bats, and it was given out.
So we are trying to figure out ourselves. But in the meantime, if the umpire say you're out, you're out.
No questions asked.
He has the final word.
I think that was a great ball. It came back into the batsman.
So I'm still confused, but he's out. Let's leave that.
Yes.
Let's leave that. It was given out by the umpire.
So that is an alarming position for Ontario Reds, who are 62 for the loss of 5 wickets with just 9 overs to go.
I think that hill just got a bit steeper, and it's almost impossible for the defending champions, Ontario Red, to dig themselves out of this one. It's not impossible. I said almost. Operative word. Almost.
Well, depends. Let's see if they have any rescuer, booked in the later lineup, in the batting lineup. If they have any batting weapon up there, who can maybe surprise up things, or we never know.
Exactly. If Mr. Shaw was here, he would be able to tell us because he knows all about this team. We have to say congratulations to Mr. Shaw because it's his outfit from the club where he operates. Yeah. So congratulations for reaching the finals once again after being champions for last year. But right now they are not doing too well.
So that was a good ball by Mohammed. The batsman lifting it up, but it was safe towards the mid-off region.
Where the running is concerned, they need to, it is said that the best defense is offense.
Yeah.
So they need to run some more, put the fielders under pressure. I can understand they're a bit shy because they have already lost two of the wickets that went down by the run-out route. So I can understand they may be a bit weary. But you have to definitely put the fielders under pressure. Try turn the ones into two. Have some communication with your partner. And even if you're not going for the two, do some reaction and let them hurry. Maybe just do some overthrow.
Yeah, and I think Mahmood respected that ball really nicely. It was a very good balled by Mohammed over there. And I think the previous shot he played, if he had swung the bat really hard, that you never know, it could have gone below the just beyond the fielder, and that was worked away towards the gully side for a single.
And this is exactly what we're saying. That at least they should be attempting a second run. Run the first one quickly and put the fielder under pressure. So it's 65 for 5. We're in over number 12, 11 overs, 3 balls. The target 159.
So that's good disciplined bowling by Mohammed over there, not allowing the batsman any room. And I think he's doing a great job because he's just going to pressurize the batsman.
Yes, and I think we have to give the credit to where the credit is due. Sometimes we are, saying the batsmen, the batters are not doing what they ought to do, but then the bowlers are doing what they are doing. And they
and I think definitely we're getting to see really good cricket over here. No one is to be blamed. Everyone is trying their best, and this is amazing because these are the tournaments that help you see such amazing sport development. And
what happened is because it's T20 and we're spoiled. We're accustomed to seeing those balls flying over the ropes, and
we're used to sixes like Shahid Afridi.
Exactly, raining sixes.
But I think any of the fans of cricket who actually also follow the game in terms of knowledge, I think they will still be enjoying watching this game because you're getting to see such outstanding skills when it
Oh, of
comes to
course.
fielding, bowling, and batting. And these youngsters, I think it's just tremendous to have such talent at such a young age.
Exactly. Right now, is it Pakistan? Pakistan just unveiled a 16-year-old fast bowler.
Yes, yes.
Something like
Naseem.
16
Naseem
years
Shah?
and
Yeah.
300 and something days. And he got a fiver.
Yeah,
He
his
got a
name is
fifer
Naseem Shah.
against
And
Sri Lanka.
he's an amazing prospect for Pakistan. His pace, his action, is just that they need to utilize on his raw talent. And Pakistan is full of fast bowlers and great cricketing talent. I just hope they capitalize well on him.
Well, of course, they have the legacy of the Wazim Akram and the
Waqar
Waqar
Younis,
Younis,
yes.
Safraz,
Shoaib Akhtar, of course.
Shoaib, the Rawalpindi Express.
Yes, in fact, he has been part of the US Open
Oh,
in
yeah,
2012.
As a matter of fact, he took a hat-trick here. In the US Open and on our cricket show that we have on Sundays from 6 to 9 on Block Talk Radio. Sometimes we replay that hat-trick. That was taken by Shoaib Akhtar. We have Safraz Ahmed, Safraz Nawab, and the great Imran Khan, who is now
Yes.
Prime Minister of
Yes,
Pakistan.
yes. So the required run rate has climbed up to 11.7 with the current run rate just 5.5. Alarming position again for Ontario Reds.
Yes, great bowling, great battle between bat and ball.
So that has been
Great
worked away.
feeling. Yeah, that was definitely good feeling. The ball went back to the bowler like a rocket, and you can see he's still flashing his his hands.
That would have hit hard. Great
Well,
effort though.
Yeah, great effort. Now that's what we want to see the batters try. Put the fielder under pressure.
Yeah, the ball needs to be dried consistently because there's an issue with gripping it due to the rain, of course. Thank God it went away.
Yes, we are very fortunate to be having play right now.
So that's a good
And-
ball. Elevated shot towards the mid-wicket region.
And I think one of the batters was saying, hey, we're ready for two, but one run and was quite contented, turned his back, and as if we have got enough.
But I think this is where they need a pre-planned communication. Like, hey, we're gonna hit, then we're gonna go for the twos. Wherever you see it's one, let's just go. Let's run the first one really hard and capitalize another one. This is what they need over here: a more proactive approach instead of reactive.
Exactly. So you're saying they definitely need a mid-wicket conference.
Yes.
69 for 5 in the 13th over. And this match seemed to be dwindling away.
So a bit of hesitation over there again, and chance of a run out, but the non-striker is safe. The hesitation is still there, and I think this might cost them a bit in the upcoming overs because they need to take a risk over here because the required run rate has just jumped to 12 and beyond.
Right. So as I was saying, the match seemed to be slipping away from the defending champions.
Okay, that was a chance of a catch that was edged towards the point and gully region, but it landed safely just before the fielder.
And let me remind you that you're watching the finals of the under-17. The defending champions, Ontario Reds, they are trying to overhaul 159. And it doesn't seem as if they are doing a very good job at it right now. They are 70 for 5 after 13 overs. So with only 7 overs to go, there's still a whole lot of runs to get. And seemingly we'll be crowning a new champion.
Yes, I think that's what it looks like because KRC have highly challenged the Ontario Reds, and first they put up a great total, which is a highly challenging total to score in 20 overs, 159 in 20 overs, and then they started in a very dominating fashion, And this is what they have been successful in doing, taking early wickets.
And nothing peg you back like losing wickets at regular intervals, especially when you lose wickets early.
Yeah, I think that just puts you in a very panicky position. And that was worked away towards a mid-wicket region, but they just managed a single run over there.
So Mohammed, it is his third over. So far, none for 9 after 2.1. Keeping up the pressure.
I think he's been really impressive with his line and length, and especially his action. It seems to be flowing very smoothly.
Exactly.
So we have the left-hander Gibson on strike facing Mohammed. And that could possibly be a very much needed boundary, but the ball slowing down. And they have just managed a couple of more runs over there. Still not helping because the required run rate has jumped now to 13.1 with the current run rate of 5.5.
I think I can safely say now that it's definitely out of reach.
Well, yesterday we were still hopeful and we were trying to be optimistic when we saw 29.0 as the required run rate. Okay, so that was a full toss delivery that is punished well, and that's a no ball. So some
no ball. I don't know if no
luckiness.
ball for height or did he overstep?
Probably height.
No ball for height. That one was real high. So
6 runs, much needed 6 runs.
And a no ball. Free hit. Free hit coming up. Let's see if it will be consecutive 6s.
I think if they can manage some 6s or boundaries in the next 2-3 overs, you can still change the face of the game. So that was a good ball right into the wickets, worked away just for a single, not allowing the batsman to free up any arms to capitalize on a no ball.
That's when you see the character of the bowler. You know, after you're hit for a 6, bowling a no ball, and coming back, giving a reply with a good delivery. Then indeed, knowing that you have only caused just an extra run.
Yeah, and I think over here what we can see is that KRCA seems to be mentally very strong. And that is another wicket for Ontario Reds, who have fallen to 82 runs and fallen with 6 wickets now.
Yes, I don't know if he was stumped or was caught, but we know that he's out. We'll take a look at the replay. I think that will be coming up just right now. Yeah, he was stumped. Good work by the wicketkeeper. Good work by the wicketkeeper.
Completely missed by Mahmood.
And he was found wanted down the track and whipped off the bails. And he's on his way.
Completely missing the line of the ball, I would say. He completely missed the line of the ball.
Definitely missed the line of the ball. And the wicketkeeper tidy up.
So we have 37 balls left in the innings, and Ontario Reds need a big total of 77 over here.
And the run rate is climbing even higher. Now it's 13.5.
So Gibson might have an instrumental role to play, a lot of responsibility on him. He's well settled, 25 balls, and he has scored 23 runs. He needs to help, and Kumar needs to just give him strike.
Yes, we need to get him on strike. The thing is that maybe right now he's trying to, but it's not going to work. It's not just to anchor the innings. Just try to anchor the innings without going, hitting the ball over the fence. It's just another sure way of losing the match.
Yeah, I think if they can just focus on, okay, let's say the run rate has of course climbed up. Let's try to finish up and play all the overs at least. So that way you still have a fight put up and you at least completed the whole match.
So it's 82 for 6 at the end of over number 14. 82 for 6. And the hill is getting a little steeper. Right here in the United States, the highest mountain is Mount McKinley. It was renamed. I don't remember the new name, but Mount McKinley. And it seems as if the Ontario Reds are climbing up Mount McKinley right now. 36 legal deliveries to go.
So we have Gibson on strike. He's a well-settled batsman. Let's see how he negotiates with Das. That has been worked away towards the final region for a possible boundary, but there was a fielder again.
We're just out of our view. We're just about to call it a boundary.
Well, till the fielder comes in, it looks like it's a boundary. And it was swung hardly though.
Yes, well timed. Das in his fourth over, is it?
Yes, in
In
his
his
fourth
fourth
over.
over.
That was chucked away towards the square leg region for a couple of runs. Still, that is not helping because the required run rate is almost the double of the current run rate. This is what is interesting, you know, about the limited overs. You see such challenging situations where your nerves are really tested.
You have to have nerves of steel in these situations. This time they're definitely running for two. And there could be a no, yes, no. And that would be suicidal. So they stayed at home.
And I think Gibson has started to use his feet better. Like we saw that he worked away that ball finally towards the onside. And I think he should not risk his wicket right now.
Right. He is the settled batsman. And he is the one that should be seeing the ball as the proverbial coconut.
So he was going to look, it looked like he was trying to work that away beyond the mid-wicket region, but he couldn't really meet that ball. It was pitched onto the leg side.
At least there's signs of aggression.
Yes. There's signs of really good bravery over there.
And this one is no doubt about that. There are some spectators down by the boundary in the mid-off area, and of course they were scattering for cover because that one was high and hard, and 6 runs. So a Jenny Craig moment for the umpire.
So Gibson is playing an anchor role over here, and this was a much needed sixer over there. He's showing a lot of courage and confidence and seems to take this game head on.
Okay, will Gibson cause me to eat humble pie?
Well, let's see if he reaches his 50.
Oh, this one again was hit hard past the bowler, and he rifled their turn. Good fielding. Only one. We're looking for 2, but only one. Good all-round cricket.
Great aggression by Das, who was trying to get the non-striker run out, and then he threw the ball to the keeper, thinking that maybe the other person could be out.
So at the end of over number 15, the score is 95 for 6. We'll have a double change in the commentators' booth. Coming to you right now.
Thank you, guys. And we're back here at the Broward Regional Stadium, where it's lovely cricket, where we have the Ontario Reds on their chase of 159 runs. They're 95 for 6, and they're against the KRCA, who made a very good total that they're defending pretty good here. So with me is Summit. What do you think?
What I think that right now the target is very stiff. They require 12.8 runs per over, and they have already lost 6 wickets. So it seems pretty difficult to me.
Yes, definitely it's going to be an uphill task from here on for the Ontario Reds. The required run rate's 12.6. It's not that it's out of reach, but definitely it's going to take a bit of batting. And as we can see, they are down to the depth in terms of their batting. But I must give it up to Gibson. He is batting pretty confident. He is 39 off just 32 balls. I think he should have been batted much earlier up in the inning.
Exactly. So he's on a good foot right now, and if he bats till late in the over, because we just have 4.5 overs left, and these dot balls which is coming, that will not take Ontario Reds anywhere. So they need to hit boundaries and sixes now to reach the target. Though they are trying hard, but new batsman on the crease, he's not able to set his eyes.
Yeah, so there was a big shout there for LBW. Mahes, he's bowling pretty good. We saw him earlier, and he is very good in terms of his bowling. He's been spot on, and we see this one that been worked backward of a square, and the fielders, they should have gotten two, but it's a run out. The batsman did not even attempt a run. So I'm telling you, the KRCA have really put on some real pressure here on the Ontario Reds. You know, it seems like they've been tied down in the crease. They don't even want to go for the extra run, and that should have been two by no. So definitely no communication between the two batsmen in the middle there.
Exactly. And I feel who is out that we need to see. Batsman number 30 is on the crease, but who got out?
Gibson is still there, and that's good news for Ontario. If he's still there, then they may just be able to give a good chase still. So 13.8 is a required run rate. Gibson is still on the crease, 39 to him.
And the new batsman is Patel. It's a wide ball. So that makes Ontario Reds score to 100 for 7 wickets after the completion of 15.4 overs.
That's a well executed shot down to the point boundary, and that's a run out there again. Wow, this KRCA team is really fielding. That was a good work there down in the deep, and that was a direct hit, and another batsman is walking in. What a way to go. This KRCA team is really showing their talent, their skill in the outfield. You know, look at this on the replay.
Initially they batted very well, then they bowled very well, and are fielding awesome. So they are doing great in all the 3 departments of the game.
What a throw from off the boundary, and that is worth celebrating, and every single fielder is running towards that fielder. That's an excellent throw in, well picked up, and a direct hit from way off the boundary. You could not have asked for anything else. This KRCA team is really, really the team to beat here, and they're definitely showing their class this afternoon.
So after this wicket, Ontario Red is on 100 for 8. They have 2 wickets left, and the required run rate is 14.2. So what do you think, Ian, whether they will be able to reach that score, or they are trying to getting close to that score?
Well, from this point, I could almost tell you that Ontario Red is really in the red, and they're in a bit of trouble here. The asking run rate is creeping up close to 15 runs per over. We have not seen a single team in the under 17 that traveled at 15 runs per over. So it's going to be a difficult task for them, asking for 15 runs at over. against this bowling team that we see the KRCA have here, it's going to be a challenge. And only 2 wicket standing, it's going to be a difficult task.
And from the start, KRCA has put pressure on Ontario Red, and their net run rate or current run rate never crossed 7 till now. So they are bowling really well, and the fielders are helping them to stick the runs. So
Definitely the bowling have been spot on here by the KRCA team, and not just their bowling but the feeling, the fielders, everybody's so energized, you know. They're moving across the field, they're moving around, they're getting to the ball very quickly, preventing a second run, creating some doubts in the batsman's mind. They are doing exceptionally well.
And big kudos to the captain, who's placing the field really well.
Yes,
they are not able to find the gaps in between. They are striking straight to the fielders. They're not able to get runs, not able to convert one into twos. And these are some things which I think has gone bad for Ontario Reds.
Yes, so you realize even on a second run that should be very easy, the Ontario Reds is finding very difficult, as these KRCA fielders, they are really picking the ball up and they're throwing directly at the wicket. And we realize that most of the Ontario Reds, they either have to finish with a dive if they do make it in. So it is good cricket here by KRCA.
And they have lost few wickets because of that. While they are trying to take the second run, they got out.
Very good looking shot here by the batsman. Should be able to complete 2 runs here. And yes, 2 is taken quite easily. And still, they're not finding the boundary. And boundaries are important at this time.
Right. So the required run rate has shoot up to 16. And right now they are on 106 for 8 after the completion of 16.4 overs. Kareem is the bowler. 2 balls left for this over.
The best thing I see coming from this is Gibson getting himself a 50. And that would be a well-deserved 50. He is the only batsman who really showed some resilience here against this KRCA bowling. And his tally is 41 from 34. He shows some class in terms of his batting. He definitely went out there looking to take charge, but no support for him. He's 41 and good batting, but still the Ontario Reds in big trouble.
So the over up. So 17 over is gone, and Ontario Red is on 108 for 8. They have 3 overs left, and the required run rate is 17 now. I feel that's a very difficult target. What's your view on this, Ian?
Yes, as I said before, from the very beginning, this KRCA team had really tightened the screw on the Ontario Red. They make run chasing difficult. They really effected some good run out there and created a lot of doubts in the batsman mind. We see a lot of hesitant in between the wicket. We saw where they got a few of them run out when there should be actually a second run, you know. So with that, we realize that pressure on a team can really create such uncertainty that a team could fall apart, and that's exactly what is happening here with the Ontario Reds. We realize that the pressure that have been created by KRCA had pushed them in a spot of difficulty. And if we look, the lights are on here at the Broward Stadium, so you know it's getting into that part of the night. You know, it's getting a little dark, so the light is on, and batting under the light sometimes tend to be difficult, so everything is going against the Ontario Reds here tonight.
Correct. So they are on 109 for 8 after 17.1 overs, and the new bowler is Gainda, and dot ball. And it's pretty impressive figure for the bowler. In 3.2 overs, he has given only 17 runs.
So far, all of the KRCA bowlers have looked impressive, and I wonder if because of the batting. And there's another wicket.
He's bowled.
Seems like they caught behind. Let's see the replay here. So we just missed that one. Something happened. And here it is. Bowler into bowl. Legal delivery. Went after it. And he was thumped.
Yes.
Did he walk out of his crease? Definitely it seems that way, even though the area look a little dusty. Seems like he actually walked out of his crease or lift. And he's out. Good keeping here.
Very good keeping. He just lifted his right leg up and the keeper stumped him.
And I must say, good umpiring also. He had to be watching right there because that was pretty close. He barely spent a second lifting that leg, and we're going to see this from another angle would be pretty good. So 1 wicket, and they're all out.
Good ball by India. And he's completed 4 balls, and I guess he has not given any runs till now.
And that's the end of the game. He's bowled all over. So the Ontario Red game come to a close here, and have a new champion this year, KRCA. You know, they definitely deserve this one. They played a game of great cricket. You know, they actually came out, they batted well. We saw that partnership between Agis and Banky, who made over 100 partnership, and that had proved to be too much for this Ontario Red team, and well-deserved win here by the KRCA team. And as we look at the batting card, we see only 3 of their batsmen was able to get into double figure, with Gibson, who made 43 at the end there, and Badin 17. Hamison, that is Josh, he made 21 and closed out at 109, which was 50 runs short of victory. And for bowling, we see Karim 4 overs, no maidens, 27 runs, 1 wicket. So all of the KRCA bowler did exceptionally well, and they pulled off a very well-deserved win here tonight.
Yes, yeah.
So